Igloo at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
Need steel decking fast? Choose Southern Steel Decking, Louisiana's premier metal decking supplier. Our lightning-fast 24-hour turnaround ensures you get your decking when you need it. And we deliver statewide. Visit southernsteeldecking.com. That's southernsteeldecking.com.
Hey, LSU fans, Alumni Hall has scored a perfect 10. Not only do they have all the best LSU apparel and gear, but they have your LSU Gymnastics National Champs coming this Friday for a free meet and greet. Come get your free autograph poster and get signatures and photos from Haley Bryant, Sierra Ballard, and Kaya Johnson. That's Alumni Hall located in Perkins Row with an LSU event this Friday night from 6 to 7. Alumni Hall, your ultimate LSU shopping experience.
When you've been in the industry for over 20 years, you learn a few things. For one thing, you learn your product inside and out, but you also learn how to ask the right questions and give satisfying answers. Jim's Firearms.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Wednesday, May 8th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 86. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap LSU baseball's victory over Northwestern State. Ronnie Rants will hop on the show at 7:30, and we'll talk some LSU football as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, welcome in to OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jake, Alondra, and Taylor here with you. We will not have T-Bob with us today, and hopefully he'll be back tomorrow.
The line was 2.5.
It was 2.5.
I said 2.
Guys, somebody did set the line at 2.5 inside the chat. I don't remember who did it, but that was a perfect number.
Yeah. I think it's because I said 2 and y'all both said 3.
Yeah.
So we set it at 2.5.
All right, so he's made 2 already.
Yeah.
So all he's got to do is show up Thursday or Friday. I'll be real honest with you as far as Friday. I don't think he's going to be in.
I think he'll be in tomorrow, though.
Tomorrow's the day. If you bet the under, you got to pay attention tomorrow.
Because like when he told us in typical T-Bob fashion, it was about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon that he wasn't going to be here. And then like 2 hours later, he responds like, Is that okay, guys? Is that, like he feels? I feel like he feels bad about it. He'll be here tomorrow for sure.
If he felt bad, then he would have done it.
Well, not
he'd
that
be
bad,
on the
but like,
he'd be on the Zoom here or whatever Teams. Sorry, I didn't see his initial message. I was outside throwing the baseball with Memphis, I think.
Yeah.
And then like after like an hour, I saw it and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll respond or whatever. And then when he hit us with that, is that okay? I was like, oh, I'm not responding to this.
yeah.
I
just said yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna let him sweat a little bit.
I kind of wanted to put a period on the yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah. I was in a Benadryl.
Or when he's like, I'm not gonna be here, just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, a K would have been maybe
good.
as good as a yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be here, but he'll be on other shows. I think he's actually going to go on Mincy's show.
He's on Wake Up Mincy
this morning, right? And then
something
he said,
else with Barstool.
Yeah, he's doing like the
Barstool
car wash, he said.
Yeah.
So like kind of probably pop in different shows. And so after you listen to us for the full 3 hours, then you can go check out what T-Bob's doing there in Chicago. He went to the Cubs game last night, so maybe we can get some of that footage because now, like just typical T-Bob fashion, he'll be a Cubs fan when he gets back. He'll wear that jersey, I would say next week at least 3 times, and he'll talk about the Cubs for a week, and then it'll go away. But for a week, him and Hunt will be able to share that common bond here together in Guarantee Studios.
Well, he needs another jersey because, I mean, dude, last football season, he wore the crap out of his Chinese-made, super long sleeve Ryan Ramczyk jersey that he's. I mean, you know, if the Ramczyk news is true, he may not be wearing for much longer. So the guy needed a new one, anyways.
I forgot about that jersey actually, and I need to forget about that jersey.
God, it's awful.
It is that bad. All right, so we do have Ronnie Rants joining us at 9:30. Ronnie called the LSU baseball game last night, so we'll kind of do a dive into that obviously here, but then when Rants comes on as well because he was in the box last night. There's some sound from Brian Kelly we'll probably play in the next segment about NIL. Flynn is actually in today. I've confirmed twice, and so he is going to be in 8 to 9. And then we've got my co-host on Off Campus, Bobby Carpenter, the general himself, joining us in hour number 3. So big show planned, even though T-Bob decided to Christian Bale on the show. And we'll start with Okay, go ahead, Taylor.
I want to say one thing. We didn't say this in the intro. Happy birthday, Jacob Hester. How old are we today?
Happy birthday, Jake.
Oh, we're 39.
39. Well, look, I'll tell you, you don't look a day over 38. So
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah. 39 is a weird number. It's a gross number.
Yeah.
And not just gross because it's almost 40.
And it's odd.
It's just a bad-looking number.
Yeah.
On a jersey.
Yeah.
39's not great.
Find me a stud NFL player that wears 39.
One. Minka Fitzpatrick. He wears 39, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got for you. It's just a gross number. Like, for the next 365 days, I'm going to put this gross number on anything that I fill out. So, it's not 40. And by the way, let me go ahead and put this out there. Since T-Bob likes to tell us, like, right before the show he's not going to be here.
Yeah.
I ain't going to be here next year when I turn 40. I will not be here on May the 8th. I will be somewhere that requires me to have a passport.
Yes.
I will not be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Harlow will be almost 2 at that time.
Yeah.
So we'll feel good about leaving her. Let me also give a heads up to my mom. She's probably listening as well. Mom, you got the kids because I'm going somewhere. So 39, the only place I'm going today is Piccadilly.
I was about to say, you going to Piccadilly?
I turned 40.
Little Piccadilly
I ain't going to be here. No chance.
Do they do senior discounts at Piccadilly?
Yes, they do. They have to.
You're
I mean,
close.
it's me and the seniors.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they
That's
could.
true.
That put them out of business, guys. That's
true,
nothing
but
seniors.
Luby's does it. And Luby's is like Piccadilly where all old people go there.
Okay, so then maybe.
I don't think we have a Luby's.
But you gotta be like, but you gotta be 65 plus.
Yeah, not quite there yet.
And
My body feels like it. But.
Yeah.
We had Luby's in Shreveport for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then Piccadilly won out. I don't know.
They're both good.
Is Luby's a Texas thing?
That's what I'm wondering.
I bet it. Piccadilly's headquartered right here in Baton Rouge.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fun fact of the day.
Yeah. All R&B music today for Jake.
Oh, I can certainly get behind that, as my wife has already put out a picture of me from high school where I had puka shells, frosted tips, and a soul patch. And so it's already out there in the ether, and I'm sure I'll see that picture multiple times. It's not great. Multiple times. All right, let's get to something not the number 39 because it's gross. LSU baseball wins 6-5 over Northwestern State. Did either one of y'all do the game?
I didn't.
No.
Last night? Okay. So were y'all watching the game last night? Because I have never paid attention to an LSU Northwestern State baseball game like I was last night because, as y'all know, it was hairy, and it was hairy for the entire game. And Northwestern State played better than you for about 7.5 innings. And we talked about it yesterday. This was not a game that you could lose. Like, you could not lose this game. Northwestern State, shout out to the Demons, 3-1 great, a bad baseball team. 19-29 overall. And so, guy, they're in the hundreds in the RPI. That was going to do major damage to you. Now, if you went and swept Alabama and Ole Miss, no, this win wouldn't matter. But if we're talking about getting to 13 conference wins, and let's say you don't win a game in Hoover, you already have a bad loss in Southern on your resume. You've been great in non-conference. You could not add another Northwestern State loss to your resume. And so shout out to the boys for getting it done, staying in the game, a game in which, look, your heavy hitters, the top of your lineup outside of one hit, it was not great. You had Tommy White go 0 for 5. Now, Bear Jones went 1 for 4. We'll talk about his one hit. You had Josh Pearson go 0 for 4. You had Hayden Travinsky go 0 for 4. So the top of your lineup just did not produce in this game until it did. And somebody we need to start giving a little bit more love to is Bear Jones. Bear Jones a year ago was the guy that I don't want to call him Pedro Serrano, but like he was hitting fastballs out of the park every single time. And then teams started to figure him out a little bit. They would give him the breaking ball in the outside corner of the plate. He would chase it. And he became someone who was key at the beginning of the season and then kind of went away at the end of the season and really only came in as a pinch hitter in the postseason. But he has figured that out. Like, is he perfect? No. But he is so much better at pitch selection, when to swing, what to swing at, and also what to do with it. Like, he will take a pitch on the outside corner to the opposite field, and he'll hit it over the fence. He's got that kind of power. He's done it multiple times. Now, this pitch that he hit out last night in the 8th inning to give you the lead and secure that victory for you as Guidry comes in, he closes the door in the 9th inning. It was actually a good pitch. It's a good pitch by the Northwestern State pitcher, but he does exactly what he has to do. He stays on it. He takes a breaking ball in the outside corner of the plate, out deep to left field, and Bear Jones, at the moment, because you could not lose that game, gives you, Taylor, a little bit more life still in this baseball season.
Yeah, he really did. You know, that's what we were talking about. You mentioned it. You can call him Pedro Serrano, dude. That's what he was. Fastball, he hits very much, no-hit curve. I mean, that was Jared Jones all last year. Stephen Milam was big in this game as well. You know, he doubled down the right field line in that 8th inning to become that tie run on base. Jones blast the home run a few batters later, but I thought Gavin Guidry was huge in this game. You know, you talked about it. I tuned in later in this game, watched one of the streams. It wasn't that, you know, he gave up no runs. He had 7 strikeouts. I thought that he went 4 innings was the most impressive thing. We never see Gavin Guidry go that long. And this year, he's really fallen out of favor to a Griffin Herring, to an Ackenhausen, to a Christian Little later in the season. I mean, Guidry was your guy last year, but, you know, for an inning, 2 innings at most, he was 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, 7 strikeouts. I mean, he is the reason that you won this game because Cade Anderson was hairy, right? He goes 3 1/3. He gives up 3 runs, 2 earned runs, only strikes out 4, has 3 walks. Ulloa comes in, he gets 2 strikeouts, but he gives up 2 runs as well. I mean, Guidry comes in, and he is the guy tonight, and that's what you wanted to see. I mean, that's what I've been waiting for. Can Gavin Guidry get back to that 2023 form? I think he did a lot of that last night.
Well, as we all know in this room, Gavin Guidry does not lack for confidence. But, like, in a moment like that, that's when he's at his best. Like, if you bring in Gavin Guidry in a game in which you're losing 7-0, you're not going to get the best version of him. You're going to get the best version of him just like you did last night. Like, he had to come in, and he only faced 1 batter, but he had to make a pitch against A&M. He does that. That's when he's at his absolute best. And so it was good to see him come in there and absolutely shut the door on Northwestern State. And Cade Anderson just is a young player. And I'm not going to slam the door on a young player, and I know Alondra was a big fan of Cade Anderson's in the beginning of the season because he did look like someone who was going to help you. But I think we're to the point now where maybe try something else. You can tell
he's a freshman.
Yeah, you can tell he's a freshman. And I've been a freshman trying to play, like, you know, and get out there and be with the first team, the whole deal. And sometimes it's tough. There's going to be ebbs and flows, and you're going to hit a wall as well. It feels like that wall's been hit.
Yeah, because what happened a couple of weeks ago in the Auburn series? Remember, that was the day after Ackenhausen gets hurt, you know, and you're like, okay, well, what do you do in game 3? Because Ackenhausen was kind of your guy. They put in Cade Anderson, and he kind of did look like the moment was too much for him, at least in SEC play. You know, I mean, he gives up 5 runs in the top of the first inning, and that was it. LSU never recovered from that, and Auburn blew the doors off of them in a series that, looking back on it, if you would have swept, you'd feel a lot better about where you're at. So, yeah, you know, hitting a little bit of a freshman wall, but for the most part this year, he's been really solid.
All right, we are going to continue that baseball discussion when Ronnie Rants. Again, he'll join us in about 15, 16 minutes from now, but I want to get to some of this Brian Kelly sound that he had with Jacques Doucet yesterday about NIL paying for players, and we'll do that when we come back here. It is OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, go to ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. And when you go to the website, like we tell you, they can help you throughout our listening area. So when you go to the website, top right corner, it's going to give you some of that contact information and where they're located and that number for them. So Gonzales, Baton Rouge, Madisonville, Houma, Lafayette. But they also can help you up in the 318. They've done it before. Call that Baton Rouge office at 225-379-7663, and they'll send somebody to help you out. Certainly, like any kind of commercial job, that you have. And so commercial and residential, but also Coleman Roofing and Construction. So if you've got a situation where you've got a bad storm that rolls through, you find out you've got a leak in your roof, and then you find out that leak did damage to your home, well, Coleman, because of the construction part, they can come in, they're going to fix your roof and also fix the interior of your home. Like, a lot of people say one-stop shop, but they truly mean one-stop shop over at Coleman. So again, go to that website to find that contact information today, colemanroof.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Anyone else. Fresh, made-to-order cheeseburger sliders, seasoned waffle fries, and delicious milkshakes. Slide through today. Visit them in Baton Rouge, Prairieville, or Denham Springs.
It's crawfish season, and you know what that means. Time to pinch them tails for the 10th year celebration of the Crawfish King Cook-Off. On Friday, May 10th, starting at 4 p.m., come on down to Royal Plaza behind Live at the 5 to grab your mouthwatering crawfish boiled to perfection by dozens of talented teams. Cast your vote for the coveted crown of the Crawfish King and support junior achievement and the Big Buddy program at the same time, yeah. Visit crawfishkingcookoff.com to get your tickets. See you there, Sha.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. What should we expect year one from Taliesin Fuanga? Former Saint lineman John Stinchcombe joins us. We'll find out. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yeah, you're going to hear early 2000s R&B probably all day long. And if we venture off, it's going to be something from somebody who's already met their maker. So that's just going to be the vibe today. Well done, Alondra. All right, so we mentioned Brian Kelly. He sat down with Jacques Doucet, and I believe this was yesterday. And there is one quote about NIL, obviously the defensive line, that has really gained steam on social media. It's BK talking about what LSU's plan is when it comes to the portal and developing players.
Somebody said when you buy a player, they own you. Well, they also have to understand that they're walking into a locker room with a cloud over them as well. You know, when you're making those decisions, I have to factor in everybody who's sitting in these seats here. You know, and everybody, including, you know, my offensive linemen who are the bell cows, who have been playing for me over the last 3 years as freshmen and sophomores and juniors. What about them?
So there's a deep conversation that Brian Kelly got into about, you know, buying players and compared to just getting players through high school, developing those players. And a lot of people were, you know, questioning maybe, well, why wouldn't you go buy a player? And he's been out front about what he's going to do as the head coach and what his plan is and the development of those players. I think there's a little bit of a longer answer. Do we have that one? All right, we'll get that one as well because, look, he is, like I said, he's been out front about kind of, and they talk about the path and the process and what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. And so there was a couple of defensive tackles out there that whatever report that you look at, Oklahoma, Miami, and what they did with those defensive tackles. But here is that longer answer from Brian Kelly about buying players.
So the D-line, interior D-lineman, where are you right now with that?
Well, I think I made it pretty clear in a number of the press conferences that I had that we were in the market in recruiting in the transfer portal looking for defensive linemen. It hasn't fared very well, quite frankly, because, you know, we're selling something a little bit differently, and that is we want to recruit. We want to engage, build relationships. We want to develop, retain, and have success. We're not in the market of buying players, and unfortunately, right now, you know, that's what some guys are looking for. They want to be bought. And look, I understand NIL is part of this, and we have an incredible collective. We have very, very generous opportunities around the greater Baton Rouge area for NIL opportunities. So they are here, but we're not going to go out and buy players. That's not what this is about. This was never about that. We will develop you. We will get you ready for the next step, as we did with Jaden Daniels, as we did with Malik Neighbors, as we did with Brian Thomas. We developed 3 defensive linemen that all got drafted this year, and we'll do that again. But if you're just looking to get paid, you're looking in the wrong place. If you like all the things that we do here in developing our players, bringing you into a championship program, playing in front of the best fan base in America, playing for championships, and having an opportunity for NIL, you should be a Tiger. But if you just want to get paid, this is not the place for you.
I actually agree with Brian Kelly. And I know that some fans are like, wait a minute, why would you not go and buy players? And it's because of the things that he just said. You brought in Bo Davis, who's one of the best, if not the best, defensive line coaches in America. You brought him in to develop players. That's what you brought him in for. He's done it at Alabama. He's done it at Texas. He's done it everywhere he's ever been. Right. And so, like, that is your hope that he takes, let's say, 5-star player like Don McKinley. Like, that's who we're talking about here. Gabe Relaford, 4-star player. That's who we're talking about here. Like, that's why you bring in a Bo Davis. Now, if you supplement those guys, because you did with Mekhi Wingo a couple of years ago, you bring him in from Mizzou. Mekhi Wingo wasn't here for a payday. He wasn't here for that one-time payday, and that's all he was worried about. Like, Mekhi Wingo came here for a reason, and they played for an SEC championship game that year, and like different reasons. Like Jordan Jefferson comes here, and he comes from West Virginia, where nobody really knew who he was when he first got here. Everybody's like, oh, he's got the same name as the quarterback. And then he turned himself into someone that got invited to the Senior Bowl and got drafted in the 4th round. Like, that's why he came here. Those are the reasons why you want someone to come to your school. And I know that people think, oh, LSU's falling behind. That's not it. You can go to On3, and they've got the amounts of money that everyone has in the NIL space and how much they have to spend. LSU's very competitive in that. They're top 10 in that. They've got money to spend, but they want to be smart about the money that they spend. So if you're a player in the portal that wants a cash grab instead of coming here developing, that is not what they're looking for. Again, right, wrong, or indifferent, whichever side that you fall on, I can just promise you with conversations like this, like we just heard, and other conversations like, personally, like with some of the LSU coaches, that's not what they're going to do. The defensive tackle situation they're in right now, it's not one you ever want to be in. I understand that as well. You didn't expect 3 guys that had eligibility to come back to all leave at the same time. They did, and now you're in a bind. And you could make the argument, okay, well, go pay for 1 year of a defensive tackle. But again, if you do that, if you open Pandora's box, can you ever really go back from that? And so that's why you see Oklahoma and Miami outbid you for a couple of defensive tackles. Now, LSU is still in the market for defensive tackles. They still have, fillers out there and probably have offered scholarships to some of those guys that are in the portal, but they weren't going to pay some of the numbers that we're hearing. And I'm not here to be message board guy, but there's some huge numbers out there, like more than the NFL minimum salary offers that these defensive tackles got. So LSU wasn't in that market, and that's why they lost out, and they still continue to try to find a defensive tackle. So, I mean, Taylor, obviously you've been locked into this defensive tackle, NIL, transfer portal situation like we all have. I'm not really surprised to hear Brian Kelly say that, and certainly not once T-Bob and we were talking about the other day off the air and some of the numbers that these players got.
No, and I saw a lot of pushback from Kelly's comments yesterday, and people are like, well, you have to be the highest bidder. This is the way of college football. You're getting left out. This shows that LSU doesn't have any money. That's not what Brian Kelly said. I mean, you heard him say right there, there are a lot of NIL opportunities. Kelly's pitch is probably going to be, hey, you got Raising Cane's down here. We got the G team down here. You come down here. We have a lot of NIL opportunity, walk-ons. Like, we have a lot of NIL opportunity for you to come down here, but we're not going to write you a blank check. I mean, you talked about it. I know exactly what you're talking about. You saw the number of Dominic McKinley yesterday, just like I did. It's ridiculous. You can't offer that guy that much because you have other spots to fill as well, right? I mean, this is not NFL free agency. You can't just be like, I'm going to have a $40 million cap hit on this one guy and the rest of my roster suffer from it. That's not what this is. I love the answer from Brian Kelly personally.
Yeah, and he's told you the entire time, like, this is not new. If you've listened to him, this is how he wants to build this program. He's never going to be Lane Kiffin. He's never going to be Deion Sanders. He's never even going to be, someone who brings in the amount of players that Brahm's bringing in at Louisville. Like, they've had 2 major transfer portal classes. That's not who they're going to be. Now, he's not going to be Dabo Swinney either. Dabo Swinney and Clemson don't have a single player out of the portal. That's not what he's saying. He's not against the portal. He's certainly not against NIL. He's just not about buying the players. And I'm saying this isn't BK overpaying for some players because they know you've got a position of need. Because, again, you open Pandora's box, you can never close that thing again. This program is going to be built off high school recruiting in the state of Louisiana, which is one of the absolute best in high school recruiting, per capita, NFL talent. We talk about it all the time. They want to dominate there, hit their pockets of Texas and Mississippi and Alabama and surrounding areas, and certainly still go into Florida. And they'll go all over the place because Brian Kelly had to do that at Notre Dame. Not as much here, obviously, at LSU, but he'll still go all over the place. And then you'll add 6 to 10, 10 being the absolute, like, a big number, probably more like 4 to 8 players through the portal every single cycle. And that's who you're going to be. You're going to add here and there. You're going to supplement your roster with what you've had from high school, the development of the players, and you're not really going to move away from that. Now, the first year, you had to. And he talked about not liking to be in that position. Wasn't comfortable in that position. That's not who he wanted to be. So it's scaled back. And I'll get the numbers throughout the show. It's scaled back every single year as far as number of players they've added through the portal. The first year, we get it. Your roster, it was horrid as far as the numbers and what you had. We all know, you had less than 40 scholarship players in the Texas Bowl. So you understand that. But after you had that situation, and now this roster looks like, outside of one position, defensive tackle, it is still a position of need and something that is a concern. You've got it kind of where you want it. But it was through the way that you wanted to build this program, not the way that others are building their program. And so it's not going to change. That's going to be the way this program is built until Brian Kelly is no longer the head coach at LSU. And so we'll get those numbers, and maybe we'll take a look at who potentially still is out there, because I still think LSU will add a defensive tackle, just not one where he's going to pay for a player like some of these numbers that we're hearing. And again, like, you might disagree with that, right, wrong, or indifferent. You might say, why would you not overpay this 1 year for that one position? And again, he has told you numerous amounts of times he is not going to do that. The staff is not going to do that. All right, we will step aside, come back to that conversation, certainly. So put a pin in that one. Getting back to some LSU baseball with our guy, Ronnie Rants. When we come back here, it is OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to k2zblinds.com, k2zblinds.com. You can pick up the phone, give them a call as well, 225-228-0855, and they can come out and they can help you today. Now, Brandon Barton and his team are going to come out, and you tell them, obviously, hey, this is what I'm looking for, or this is what I want to get done, and then they kind of just take over. Now, they're not making decisions without your blessing, but they just take over, and I would fully endorse allowing them to take over. They did it for me. Hey, the sun's coming in here. We like this little outdoor area that we have. We'd like to throw an outdoor TV up there, be able to hang out there. It's so hot and sunny here in Baton Rouge. It's like, all right, well, I'll give you this screen. It's going to come down. It's going to shade this area, but it's also going to shade your living room. So when you're trying to watch TV during the day, you've got all these glares in the living room. It takes all of those away. Blew me away. Didn't even think about that being an option. He's done it for me in the kitchen as well with a Roman shade. He can do it for you. Go to the website. Get it set up today, k2zblinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank at Nicholson. Scott Rabelais will be with us. Also, Wes Reynolds from VEASAN and professional sports handicapper Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
and she shines just like a star.
All right, welcome back in. It's OTB here. Going to be joined by our guy, Ronnie Rants. I tell you what he does for a living, but he's got more titles than Tom Brady, so I'll allow him to do that maybe here in a little bit. Jumbo, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up, buddy? Good morning.
Thank you for waking up with us. There were some people in the studio that questioned if you'd answer the phone. Not going to name names, but I'm glad that you did answer the phone, sir.
Well, listen, you tell those doubters that, at 51 years of age, I'm able to set an alarm. It works.
Well done. Well done. All right, so we got a bunch that we want to get to with Ronnie, but let's start with LSU baseball last night. Oof, that thing got a little hairy. And obviously you know Northwestern State very well, doing the Hall of Fame and Natchitoches and kind of going back and forth. That is not a good baseball team. And if LSU had lost to Northwestern State, they would have had to maybe even win another game compared to what they already have to win, like bare minimum, just because that would have crushed their RPI, right?
No, it would have. I mean, Northwestern State was, I think, a 180, 190 RPI type team, and so that would have really hurt them. I mean, we forget that LSU did lose to Southern earlier this year, and so that crushed them. And so you can't have two major losses like that, especially at this time of the year, because committees and whatnot, they take into effect so much how you're playing at that time. Have you gotten hot of late and that sort of thing? And LSU obviously has gotten hot in conference play, and you want to keep it going. So they avoided the snake pit for sure, and I think that's why you saw them extend, Guidry there at the end, let him go 4 innings, which is the longest he's been all year. And, he was rolling, and they weren't going to mess with it. Usually at midweek games, you see him throw, 8, 9 different guys, but last night I think he only did 3, and that's pretty strange. You don't see that anymore.
And the top of the lineup, it was not helping you out. And you and Lynn did a great job of kind of laying that out. And now, Bear Jones, at the end of the day, was the one hit that won the game for you. But, there was nobody at the top of the lineup kind of picking you up. And Bear Jones comes up with the big hit. And in the hour, start the hour here in hour number 1, we talked about Bear Jones and really the adjustments that he's made. Like that pitch a year ago, I don't know that he is connecting with that pitch, right? And that's kind of the pitch that gave him trouble. And now, like, he's had so much growth, Ronnie, into being able to handle that pitch and then drive it out of the ballpark, which it actually was a decent pitch from Northwestern State.
Yeah, breaking ball down and away from him as a right-handed hitter. But clearly he was looking for it because he kind of leaned out and got it and wasn't fooled at all. And he picked up his 21st homer of the game. That base hit, that home run by Jones in the bottom of the 8th inning was the first hit by a batter 1 through 4 in their lineup all night. And so that gives you an idea of how slow they were offensively, but obviously he came up clutch. And, he's had a fantastic year. He's been very consistent throughout, hitting around 300, having a power stroke going. And he is draft eligible. He's only a sophomore. He is draft eligible. So that's something that really keep an eye on. I would think the guy ends up with 20-something homers. It's probably going to be hard for him to come back to LSU, but hopefully he does.
The lineup had, speaking of the top of the lineup, it had another change, and LSU is just searching, Ronnie, for somebody to set the table in this lineup. And you tried your best hitter last night. You put Tommy White in the leadoff spot. Bear Jones has been in the leadoff spot. We have seen Larson over the last couple of games be in the leadoff spot. We've seen Milam. We've seen Kling. We've seen so many different players. They just cannot find that one guy that is going to go out there, set the table, and they don't even care about normal, hey, we want this leadoff guy to be the contact guy, the speed guy. They're just trying to get any bat in there to be able to help them out and, again, set that table, and they still just this deep in the season don't seem like they have that guy.
Yeah, the whole concept of the leadoff or the number 2 hitter, that's really changed a lot in the last 5 to 10 years. And you started off in Major League Baseball, you start seeing them tinkering with the lineup. For 150 years, you put your best hitter in the 3rd spot. Yeah. You put the guy with the most power, in the 4th spot. If it wasn't and then you always had a fast guy. You tried to get your best on base percentage guy who could maybe steal bases in the leadoff. And if ideally you had a left-handed hitter hitting in the 2nd spot that could bunt and make it difficult for the catcher to throw the guy out at second. That was the formula for 150 years of baseball, and now all of a sudden it's turned on its head. in the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, now the best hitter usually is in the second spot, and so I'm not sure. I mean, Jay sits around that office with a lot of free time and just changes the lineup. It seems every day. Every day it's different, and I think for whatever reason, anytime he's like, okay, we're going to give this guy a chance and lead off, even if he's hitting, then all of a sudden he stops, and so. I think you're just going to continue to see musical chairs, and he's just going to try to stack the lineup as best he can, 1 through 4, with his best hitters.
All right, so LSU is heading to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama, and we know what they need to do. They need to win at least 4 of their next 6 games. Going to be very difficult to get 2 of 3 in Tuscaloosa. What is the formula for success for this LSU baseball team? You think it's going to be the same? Hey, you have to, there's no negotiating. You have to get good starts from Gage Jump and Luke Holman, and then Griffin Herring and Christian Little have to come in and close the door. I don't like having to be in a position where, it has to play out exactly like that, but that's kind of where LSU is right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with Ackenhausen, it seems, is probably their third starter for right now. But at the end of the day, Jump has been very good the last 3 weeks, and then Holman, of course, has been the most consistent guy throughout the whole year. And even last week, he walked a lot of guys, but he showed some big kahunas, getting them out of some major situations in Game 2 of the series against A&M, particularly bases loaded, no outs, punches out. The guys get out of the inning, and Holman, this is going to be a giant weekend, right? He played at the University of Alabama, was their ace last year. He's going to be going back to Tuscaloosa. I talked to his dad at the game last week. His dad actually pitched at Jacksonville State back in the day and played in the pros, got to AAA. And he said that when they decided, when his son left, and the reason he left Alabama was because the coach got fired. The pitching coach wasn't going to get the job. So that's why he went in the portal. Had it not been for any of that, if any of those 2 guys had stayed, he'd still be there. But when he did transfer, they got a lot of hate mail. They got a lot of text messages and DMs and people, crazy fans. And so it was a pretty brutal off season. So he's got a little, personal thing going this weekend, and we'll see if he can hold his emotions together.
Yeah, certainly. It's a great point. A lot of emotions. Anytime you go back somewhere where you were before, and he was a star there. I mean, he was their guy. And, we can talk about why his head coach wasn't there any longer, maybe later on in the show. Does 13 victories in the SEC, does that get you in? Is it 50-50? And I know it's not supposed to matter, Ronnie, but does the LSU across your chest help you if you get to 13 wins?
I wowould think, right? I mean, it's a human element. It's human beings that are sitting in a room. And so I don't think LSU across their chest, defending national champs, all what that means as far as ratings and money and everything, does it give them a little push? I think so. Come on, it has to. And so, yes, I think 13 wins is the number. It's not an automatic lock. Matter of fact, it's less than 50% in the history of the SEC. Teams with 13 wins have gotten into the NCAA tournament. But I think it's more about what have you done for me lately. Those stats are a little bit older. The league is harder now than ever. It's better now than ever. It just keeps getting that way. And I think there's too many good teams, too many highly ranked teams. I think there's a better understanding that, hey, the SEC, it really is the dog of the country. It's not even close, 1 through 14, and really all of them. I mean, you think Auburn can't finish in the top 2 in the Sun Belt? I mean, come on. So I think 13 gets them in, especially with the number of wins they would have at that point. They'd have 30 with 4 more wins. It'd be at 36 wins, I believe. And so, I mean, I think that's the number, and that's what we're looking at. And take 2 out of 3 this week, 2 out of 3 next week. Bingo, you punch your ticket. If you only win 1 this weekend, then you really just make it difficult on yourself, having to have to sweep Ole Miss at home. And then the only other path, if you don't win 4 in the next 6, is you got to go win it at Hoover to punch it automatically.
Which, in a 3-game series, like this LSU team is actually set up right now currently for some success with the situation they have with the 2 starters and 2 relievers that can go multiple innings and close the door, and they're playing at a high level. When you start getting into finding a 3rd starting pitcher, certainly a 4th when you get into Hoover, because you'd have to make the long run, that does not sound like something that is going to happen for LSU.
No, they're just not. you would hope that maybe by this point, Cade Anderson would be a guy that could maybe even make a push to get into the tournament. As hot as he started, the true freshman from St. Paul out of Covington, as hot as he started this year, the first 3-4 starts he made, you thought, oh man, by the time May rolls around, he's going to be a dude, and it just hasn't happened. He's lost his confidence, he's lost his command, just not able to throw strikes enough. But he's going to be a great player, and he's the future. But we were hoping it was going to be this year, and it just doesn't look like it. And you need somebody like him that could come, be a midweek starter, and all of a sudden, bam, give you 5 or 6 innings and a start in the tournament. And I don't think LSU has that ability right now.
All right, Ronnie. Obviously, I kind of joked when you came on. You have more jobs than, well, even T-Bob and I. Right, you always got something going on. Let's start with the Rougarou, where you're the owner of the team. Y'all start y'all season at the end of this month. So what do y'all got going on over there with the Rougarou?
Yeah, Baton Rouge Rougarou, May 30th. Rougarou is obviously, we're a minor league baseball team, but we use college players is basically what it is, and we're in the Texas Collegiate League, and excited. There's a new team in our league this year, the Lake Charles Gumbo Gators. So we got 3 teams now in Baton Rouge, in Louisiana, the Gumbo Gators, the Acadiana Cade Cutters, and of course Baton Rouge Rougarou when our season starts. May 30th, go to brrougarou.com, and then the other gig, right, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, right around the corner. People Drew Brees and Simone Augustus and Daniel Cormier, the UFC MMA boxer, and they're going in along with many others. Frank Monica, the head high school coach over at St. Charles Catholic, and won 3 state championships at different high schools. That induction is June 20th through 22nd. It's going to be up in Natchitoches. Get your tickets now at lasportshall.com. Lots of great events coming up in late June.
That's a big class, Ronnie. I mean, that's a on the marquee blinking lights kind of class.
It definitely is. I mean, obviously Simone's going into the pro basketball in the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts, in late August, and then Daniel Cormier from Lafayette, who's the face of UFC. He's retired now, but he does ESPN, and of course everybody, the GOAT, Drew Brees, and Frank Monica is probably one of the top 5 best high school football coaches of all time in the state of Louisiana. So it's definitely a star-studded class.
Ronnie, I ask you this every time we talk Hall of Fame. Have I gotten any closer to getting nominated to get into the Hall of Fame? There is definitely a groundswell of fans and people that have sent emails and stuff. Yeah.
So I mean, all we can do is, just keep pushing and moving forward, guys. Folks, here's what I think everybody should do. If we want to get Jacob Hester in the Hall of Fame, I think what we got to do is go to lasportshall.com, and I think everybody buys a ticket to this year's induction, and then bring your signs. Your signs. Let's get Jacob in there.
Look, I am petty enough. We'll bring out like what I did at Evangel, what happened at LSU. Yeah, we'll bring out the pro career. I mean, hey. Sunset Acres Indians in Pee Wee football, 4-time junior Independence Bowl champion. I don't know if that helps me, but we'll have a sign there.
It sounds good. Like we definitely need all that. I mean, all that.
Whoa, I don't like how you said definitely that confidently. I don't really like that, Ronnie, but I can appreciate it. Ronnie,
take some of Josh Booty's accolades from Evangel, put them on yours. No one will know the difference. It's all.
Hey. I won 5A State Player of the Year.
I know.
You hear me, Allie Broussard? I beat you out, and he was still bitter about it. So I'm just saying.
Coach, I was in the dome when you took the kickoff back. I was there.
Ronnie, we really appreciate you, man. 7:30, I know after a late game, that's not easy. So we appreciate you hopping on with us. And again, Baton Rouge Rougarou, LA Sports Hall of Fame, all of that going down. Rougarou at the end of this month, Hall of Fame this summer. So, Ronnie, we appreciate it. We'll continue to push it.
Thank you, Jacob. Talk to you soon.
All right. We are going to step away. Let's have maybe a LSU baseball conversation of who could step up. If you have a situation where you need Hoover and Holman and Jump have done what they can do, well, where would LSU turn? Do they have anywhere to turn? And we'll hit that next to finish up hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. That is the place you go if you're buying new, if you are leasing, and if you are renting a vehicle. Now, they have a used lot as well, and you'll be able to find, multiple things there. They've got the Toyota certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, so check those out as well. But if you've got a vacation coming up, And it's something we talk about often whenever it becomes spring break, summertime. And you want to save miles on your vehicle, or you want something bigger because you don't have room for all the extra luggage. Because summer vacation, you're going for a week. You ain't going for a couple days, and you need a Sienna, and you want a hybrid. So it's like best of both worlds. Save on gas and something bigger for your trip to make it more comfortable. Well, you call Miss Elisa Sessions today, get it reserved. Even if your trip's not till the beginning of June, go ahead and get that thing reserved because they are going to start to really heat up here in the rental department. So go check out the rentals, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
It's on. Join me for Wednesday's Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3. We're breaking down LSU's game with Northwestern State, talking college football transfer portal. And it's a What If Wednesday. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
First concert I ever remember, I think it's the first one I ever went to, Hirsch Coliseum, Shreveport, Louisiana. New Kids on the Block. You know who opened up for New Kids on the Block?
Boyz II Men.
Boyz II Men.
It's a good concert.
I mean, who would have thought that the opener would have been, I still think, much bigger than, I mean, New Kids on the Block had their moment.
Yeah.
But like Boyz II Men, Boyz II Men. Like
Yeah.
they still have commercials
Well, like
to this
their
day.
longevity,
Yeah.
puts them over
like
the top.
I forget
right?
who, I think it's Chili's, but they have like a current commercial right
Oh,
now.
I love Chili's.
And there's not a burnt CD that went out from Napster or LimeWire that you passed out in middle school or high school that didn't have at least one Boyz II Men song on it.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, certainly my time. Do y'all remember Napster and LimeWire?
So I used to burn CDs all the time.
Yeah.
So I know Napster, but like I don't think I ever had any Boyz II Men on it. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, age.
Yeah.
That was like, because I was young.
But yes, I used to.
Because I was young for Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
Right?
I used to
Early
sit there
90s.
and burn CDs for hours.
God, just some bad ones too. Like 16 tracks that right now I would not listen to any of them.
I wish I could find like an old burnt CD that
At times I think that too, but then I'm also like, oof, do I really want to find that? Do I really want to unearth?
Oh, and see what your playlists look like.
Yeah. All right, we got about 2 minutes here. We're trying to think what LSU would do if they get to Hoover and they don't take care of business against Alabama and Ole Miss, and they got a Game 3 situation or even a Game 4 situation, and you got to throw somebody out there on the mound. The easy answer would be, well, that's your
You got to start with Nate.
I think Nate would be the third game for sure.
I think you need to, like, depending on when we play, I think you need to start with Nate.
Yeah,
because,
yeah,
like,
I agree with that.
You would have to, like, game 1 would probably be, it's May 21st through the 26th. It would probably be, like, the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
So you already have Luke Holman and Gage jump out. It'd be hard to run him out there. I think you need to start with Nate Ackenhausen, and he needs to go deeper than 2 innings.
Yeah, he's got to give you everything he's got. He's got to do what he did for you in Omaha.
Yeah.
Now, were
because
you
you're right.
asking,
Like those guys would have to be pushed back, which I hate how the tournament starts.
Yeah.
And when it starts.
Are you asking like somebody like if you've already thrown all 3 of those guys? Who would you
If
lean
somehow, I mean, we're just trying to like, if you need a 4th pitcher, I'm not even talking about like the order of how it would be,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you got deep into this thing, like you wouldn't win an SEC tournament if Cade Anderson or Thatcher Hurd didn't give you something that they haven't given you all year long. Like it would take one of those guys. Now Thatcher Hurd has done it before.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And baseball's so mental. I realize that there's so much failure that you have to deal with. That's why I don't like it. That's why I played football. Thatcher Hurd is somebody that has done it before many times in different uniforms. Like you would not win a SEC tournament unless Thatcher Hurd did something special, like gave you 7 innings, struck out 8, gave up 2 runs. It just wouldn't happen.
I agree.
He would have to be the guy.
So, like, he needs to, whatever he needs to do to get his mind right, he needs to do it.
Flynn said he'll be here between 8 and 9:45 a.m. We'll see if that's next when we come back on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to academpbr.com, academpbr.com. It is that time. It's already that time. Like, it's already past the point of if your air conditioner is out that you need to get it fixed because, well, it's hot out there. Last weekend, it really started. It has not gone away. And so make sure, now if you got a situation where your AC is just not working already, like right now, like go to academpbr.com, call them, schedule an appointment. They need to come out. But also like over the next week or 2, you need to check your system, right? If your system's working fine, but you've got any kind of questions or concerns, you need to make sure that it's working at its peak performance because, man, the last thing you want to do is be without air conditioner in the South Louisiana heat. And it ain't going away, y'all. I mean, it's already here. So go to the website. You get that appointment scheduled. Chances are they're coming out today, tomorrow, and making sure that your performance is at its peak performance. academpbr.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Wednesday, May 8th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 93. In hour 2 of today's show, Matt Flynn may stop by for some flustering if he gets here in time. We'll also continue to talk a little football and some baseball action as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We do not have Matt Flynn just yet. This reminds me, and it's going to remind me pretty much all day of like the old school hanging with Hester when I first got here. We were doing 6 to 8 radio. It was nighttime. It was Monday through Thursday, so Fridays were off, which was didn't hate that because they're like, hey, nobody's going to listen to you on Friday nights, and they were right. And also I think we played high school games. But there was a lot of times where I was waiting on Flynn, and he was, I forget which day we did it, and maybe the chat can remind me. Maybe I think it was Wednesdays, actually. I think we're pretty tied to Wednesdays. But it would be 6 o'clock, and he would be my co-host, and there's a lot of times, you know, he wouldn't be here. Ronnie Rants, who joined us earlier, he might have been worse than Flynn, but it does bring back nostalgia of when we first started doing radio. And we did a full 2-hour episode on meth gators, which, how could you not? We did a full 2-hour episode on Chuck Norris. Again, how could you not?
Yeah.
We did a full 2-hour episode on Joe Burrow winning a tire pulling contest against Pete Warner, who is a linebacker for the Saints now, but was an Ohio State linebacker. And Flynn that day said he's going to win a Heisman Trophy. He knew from that video. And so we have that on record. The only smart thing, that and the Indian Mound situation, because we actually agree on that.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 smart things that he said.
Hey, it's like T-Bob said yesterday, blind squirrel. Every now and then.
Bust a nut.
Yep.
Do we think T-Bob, like, Does he know that's not the saying?
So I was telling you, like, during break yesterday, like, part of me thinks T-Bob's trolling, but part of me also is like, Bobby Hebert is his dad and probably told him outlandish stuff growing up. So some of that T-Bob, like, probably truly believes is the actual saying.
I think he really thought.
Yeah, because he got the
that's what it
hooting with the
was.
Owls one. Like, Bobby was saying that wrong, and they found that out. I believe it was at Bo's wedding.
Yeah.
Or one of the vacation, one of the 7 vacations.
Because he said
that
it,
T-Bob
I mean, last
was
football
taking.
season, I think you corrected him on air. And you were like, no, like it's the other way around.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I've always said it like this.
Yeah, because my dad was, if you want to hoot with the Owls, you got to cock-a-doodle-doo with the Roosters in the morning. But his is something about soaring with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to hoot with the Owls, you got to soar with the Eagles.
Yeah, but I think it's backwards.
Yeah, I don't think that makes any sense now that we're saying. If you want to soar with the Eagles, you got to hoot with the Owls.
Something. I don't know. We'll get there. We won't hear from T-Bob, though, because we don't know where T-Bob's at.
Yeah.
Although he did He did text us this morning. Yeah. Once social media told him that it was my birthday.
Yeah.
Because he got tagged a bunch in some different things, then he sent the message.
Right.
So does it
he had
really
no
count?
idea, though. Had no idea it was your birthday.
No, he has no idea. Even though we've tried to lay the birthdays out for him multiple times here on the show. So. All right, so when Flynn does get in, we're not going to play this video that we have. It's from Chris Long. We'll play that in a little bit once Flynn gets here. But we are going to talk about Austin Rivers, who was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday.
Soft.
Said, I can take 30 players right now in the NBA and throw them in the NFL. You cannot take 30 NFL players and put them in the NBA. And this was a great debate. And I do think that basketball, NBA players are probably the best athletes that we have in professional sports. Just far like strictly athletes, okay?
You said NBA players?
NBA, yeah, NBA players. Like just being athletic and what they can do. Like I want to give them their flowers there.
Yeah.
But to think that 30 NBA players would have the grit, determination, I'm not challenging their toughness, but football toughness of what it takes to me is crazy talk. And in these conversations, they're like, oh, my, Antonio Gates didn't even play college football, and he ends up as a Hall of Famer. You forget that Antonio Gates out of high school signed with Nick Saban to play football at Michigan State. Yeah. Like the greatest coach we've ever seen saw him play football and said, I want him to play football for me. Now, Gatesy didn't, handle some of his business in the classroom. It didn't work out there. He goes to Kent State, plays basketball. But it's not like he didn't have this background. Tony Gonzalez, well, he played both. Like I had four teammates at one time with the Chargers that played college basketball. And so, like, it's not that crazy to think that you could have some players play in the NBA. Now, again, you wouldn't have 30. You would have 30 either way. But to think that you can take – we all remember Draymond Green at the Michigan State spring game, lining up at receiver, looking as unathletic as you possibly could look and getting jammed by a 5'9", 180-pound cornerback. So don't tell me they're this tall, they're this big. There's a mentality that these dudes just don't have. Ain't no way. There's no way.
The only person that I can think of to be like on defense is Zion. Like they're all like super skinny.
Well, and no offense to Zion, he played a lot of games this year. How many games does our guy miss in the NFL?
A lot.
Probably. I mean, come on, probably a lot.
A lot.
Like, okay, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis misses when he wakes up with a hangnail.
Yeah.
Ain't happening. Ain't no way. He wouldn't even practice.
I think NBA players are super soft. Like, sure, they're athletic, but mentally.
There's no load management in the NFL.
No.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
It just doesn't matter. There's like 3 guys maybe that can get away with taking some practice off, like on each team.
Yeah.
But you ain't taking the game off.
No.
And the problem is, like, all the big guys, like Steven Adams, Jonas Valanciunas, like the guys we talk about are really strong. It's all about leverage in football. Jake, where are those guys going to play? They're 7 feet tall. Where are you going to play?
That's what I'm saying. Like, the only position I can think of is, like, Zion somewhere on defense.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Like, just assuming you can put somebody at left tackle. Like, that made me mad when DJ Burns, who was so much fun to watch during his tournament run at NC State this year, the kid always had a smile on his face. He did everything that he had to do to get NC State to that point. It's a great story. Like, hey, that left tackle, NFL. I'm like, y'all, you can get a Jimmy Graham and put him at F and allow him to be the athlete that he is and go high point footballs and be what he is for what he does, be elite at that. You can do that. If you think this man, DJ Burns, can line up and play tackle in the NFL and block TJ Watt and block Myles Garrett, y'all are crazy. It's just a different skill set and a different mindset. That's the biggest thing for me. The NFL mindset compared to the NBA. Because NBA players, per player, more athletic than NFL players. I get that. Hell, I played in the NFL. I don't have a jumper. I ain't playing in the NBA. I get that. But it's the talent along with the mindset. And to say that 30 players could do it, that is just asinine.
Well, you mentioned the DJ Burns thing. I always hated that comparison because, yes, DJ Burns is basketball strong, Jake. He is basketball strong. He's not super quick. And honestly, as great as he wasn't a super athletic big. I mean, he was just down there bodying people. You got to be athletic to play on the offensive line. I mean, we've seen it. How many big dudes with awful footwork have we seen O-line and D-line just get bullied? Because they stand straight up. They have awful technique. DJ Burns will be awful in the NFL.
Actually, I do kind of want to play Chris Long now. Do we have Chris Long ready to go? I know we got to edit that thing up.
No, I have it edited.
Okay, it's edited? Yeah. All right, we're going to pull up. Taylor, just let me know when you have the video. And I think he lays it out perfectly. And again, why are you getting in this conversation? Because I just think it's a little disrespectful to assume, especially from Austin Rivers, that 30 NBA players would have what it takes mentally, because that's what the NFL, you have to look in any sport. If you in basketball, if you make 37 of 40 jumpers, that's beyond incredible. You're talked about for a month. In baseball, if you hit 37 of 40 balls, or if you strike out 37 of 40 batters, if you do anything 37 out of 40 times in those sports, you're getting celebrated because nobody's ever done that before, right? In football, if you're a left tackle and you win 37 of your 40 pass reps and you give up 3 sacks, you're cut. You're looking for a new job. You blocked the defensive end 37 times where he didn't touch your quarterback, but 3. So he won 3 of 40. He got to the quarterback. He is NFC, AFC Player of the Week, and you're probably getting cut and they're trying out tackles on Monday. That's a mindset that you have to learn in the NFL. And here is, I believe Chris was the number 2 overall pick my year in 2007. His dad, his brother, it's an NFL family. Here's Chris Long on the NFL NBA debate.
All right, here's the main thing keeping NBA players from crossing over. Even if they were good enough, even if they were talented enough, even if they were kind of mean enough, here's what's keeping them. Training camp. Hey, coach, what time's shoot around? Ain't no shoot around, bro. 8 a.m., full pads, 110 degrees. They had a practicing on a field in St. Louis next to a burning underground landfill. It was like an Aaron Brockovich situation, okay? They don't care. You got sweaty balls. You got sweaty butt. You got first drill's inside run. Your breakfast is right here. I got a bruise on my forehead that starts day 1 of camp. Oh, and training camp's like a month long. I mean, even the new CBA. I don't know if you guys can handle the new CBA. Oh, and we got these guys called coaches who actually yell at you and say whatever the they want to and treat you like employees. I don't know if you've ever heard of those people. I know in your league, they just kind of make sure you get on the team plane and they know when to call timeout. Matter of fact, Austin Rivers, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go coach the Clippers. Doesn't seem too hard. I'm going to go coach the Sixers. Doesn't seem too hard. Sports science guys, what do you think? Should I call a timeout? Should we give them a day off? You can't load manage in the NFL, bro. The minute a coach talks to you sideways, you're going to flip out. You're going to leave. The minute inside run starts and you're like, oh, wait, can I just play in the game, coach? Nah, that's not the way it works. It's not the way it works.
I literally could not say it any better. Aaron Brockovich, that line got me. Maybe that's why they're not in St. Louis anymore. But, I love everything they said there. I love it. Inside run. Whew, let me tell you what inside run is. It is 9 defenders going against, like 9 on 7, basically, is what he's talking about. It's 9 defenders going on 7 offensive players. So you're at a disadvantage already for offensive guys. You've got 2 more than us. The safeties are playing at 6 yards, when in a game they're going to be playing at 16 yards. They're coming downhill with bad intentions. It's a live game rep for 12 reps with the first team, 10 with the second team. And if you're like me, you're playing fullback with the first team. You're playing tailback with the second team. So you're probably getting 18, 19 reps. and it is everything but tackle you to the ground. And it's hotter than hell, and you're sweating from places you didn't know you could sweat from. And oh yeah, you've got coaches telling you stuff like coaches used to tell us, I wish your parents never met. That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with football coaches. It is not, hey, how you feeling? You want to go in right now? How's everything going? We good? There's none of that. And at the NFL level, it doesn't stop. It might get a little bit better because you are a grown man at that point, but it doesn't matter. Look, I've been undressed by Norv Turner, by John Fox, by all my coaches in the NFL, just like I was by Nick Saban and Les Miles and Jimbo Fisher. So I cannot say it any better than Chris Long did there. Do we agree?
I agree.
100%.
Also, how about the shot at Doc Rivers? Love that one. The Clippers and Sixers doesn't seem too hard. That was excellent there.
There's Matthew Clayton Flynn walking in. Here's what we'll do to catch up. We'll take a break right now. We'll get Flynn set up with a microphone, and then we'll get his thoughts on this when we come back. It is OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, go to CommunitySteelCo.com. CommunitySteelCo.com is the place to go. They've been already in the shop in Gonzales, Louisiana for an hour and 15 minutes. And if you want to go see them in Gonzales, top right corner of the website, click on Community Steel. It's going to pull up exactly where they're located if you want to go see it for yourself. Now, you don't have to be in this area to get help from Community Steel. If you're in our listening area, they can help you. You pick up the phone, you give them a call, 225-647-2020, and they're going to make sure all of your steel needs are met. So if you're in the area, if you're listening to us and you can get to Gonzales, Louisiana, we do fully encourage you to go do that because that's why they get there at 7 a.m. They get there at 7 a.m. for you, and so you can see it for yourself. But again, we want to reiterate, you don't have to be in Gonzales, Louisiana. Throughout the state of Louisiana, Community Steel can help you with whatever your needs are, metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, steel framing, you name it, they do it. CommunitySteelCo.com, 225-647-2020.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at CommunitySteelCo.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today. Or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. What should we expect year one from Taliesin Fuanga? Former Saint lineman John Stinchcomb joins us. We'll find out. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. OTB this hour brought to you by Drink My High, drinkmyhigh.com.
Boom.
Actually, this 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
You know what you used to do for me?
What's that?
You used to, if you were late, you would stay however
I've always
much you were
offered that.
late,
I still offer that, but you guys always have like a phone guest at 9.
We don't have one until 9:15 today, and it's actually someone that you know. It's Bobby Carpenter.
Oh, the general.
Yeah, you've hung out with the general.
I have.
The general likes to hang.
He can hang.
Yeah. If you hang out with the general, just know it's not ending early that night.
Hey, look, I'm sorry about being late.
Okay. Are you really?
Hey, there's probably about 3 million people on the interstate right now that are feeling my pain too. So you get it. Not my fault. Shouldn't take you 40 minutes to get 2 miles.
Yeah.
Sure did though.
I tell people often, we choose to live here.
Fix it. Stinks.
How you've lived here off and on since 2003.
Yeah.
I've lived here since 2004. So 20 years for me, 21 for you. We've been saying the same thing. Do you think it's going to get fixed ever?
No. I don't trust anyone to fix it.
No. So again, we choose.
But you know that it's got to be really bad if it still gets me this flustered.
That's fair.
Because we have lived here for that long. We expect it. We plan for it. But then you don't plan for like this. That was terrible.
So I just played the Chris Long video for you that we just played for our audience. And one thing that I missed in it, both times that I watched it and just picked up with the one that you and I listened to, the bruise on the forehead in training camp, it got you and I. Like, we both had the old bruise on the forehead. Not everybody has that. It's a literal, like, the helmet is so tight. And look, we both got big heads. That's why we wear melons. A straight up bruise, like a rectangle bruise on your forehead during training camp for the first, 9 days of camp.
Yeah, those old shoots. That's how you say it? Shoots?
I was a Rydell guy, so I don't really know.
Were you? Like the whole time?
Yeah. I wore a Revolution. I guess it was called Rydell Revolution.
That's right. Yeah, so
the Revo Speeds.
Revo.
The Revo Speeds.
Yeah, it was original. Peyton was the first person to ever wear that in the NFL, wasn't he? Remember when he busted that thing out? And
Yes,
I was like,
because they banned whatever helmet
terrible.
that he wore, they banned that helmet. And so he had to go to that, and that face mask that him and Eli had on, it did their athletic ability no favors.
I remember, so I wore the same helmet from, not the one helmet, but the same type of helmet from high school all the way through my first 4 years in the league. And then when I got to Seattle, they said, you can't wear that anymore. I'm like, BS, nope, wearing it. Sorry, buddy. And they were like, no. He's like, technically you could be grandfathered into it, but we're not going to allow it. And I was like, well, this place stinks.
You should have known right from then.
Yeah, I should have left. Yeah. That's my bad.
If you're watching us and not just listening to us, that is not an iron that was put on Peyton Manning's forehead. That's the bruise that we're talking about.
Dude, I used to get the bruise so bad in college. I don't know if G-String was trying to give me a new pad,
toughen you
us up, but give me the same pad I had last year. I already broke that thing in, that little front pad, but it would rub the skin off of it. And so Jack would always, they had that second skin stuff. You remember that? And he'd have to put this weird skin stuff on my forehead because it would rub the skin off. And it was training camp stunk. And I was a quarterback. nobody easier than a quarterback's position than like a kicker and a punter. I get it. I didn't have to run 10 miles every practice.
Yeah.
I get it. I didn't have to hit. But wearing those helmets stink.
Yeah.
But if you listen to that Chris Long rant on here, go listen to it on your own time, on your own device, because like he has some elite F-bombs.
Yeah,
like
he does.
it really brings everyone kind of like forces it sometimes. Like
He
want to be
doesn't
cool.
force it. Yeah.
Man, it really makes that rant really good.
It does. And, of course, people are clapping back. God, Peyton's forehead, it just looks awful. I mean, it looks
It's terrible.
triangle. Looks like he got it tattooed. God, there's so many people and like, oh, you are just bitter because NBA players make more money. Yeah, sure. Of
That's
course
true.
we are.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Our
we're
sport
human.
is so much more popular than their sport. It's not even remotely close. The NFL makes like quadruple the money that the NBA makes. Yeah, we're bitter. Okay? The 17th guy on the bench for the Pelicans, who we can't even name.
Yep.
Well, who we say? Well, I don't even remember. He makes more money than I made in 6 years combined in the NFL.
And he
So, yeah,
stinks.
we're bitter. You don't even know his name. Makes no sense. Oh, there's 15 to 53. I don't care. Don't care.
Hey, this is fun.
Okay?
T-Bob's not here, so we can like just dump all over the NBA.
Yes.
You want to?
Because, look,
Wanna?
I mean, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I mean,
NBA stinks.
gosh, I love you Pelicans, but other than that, my God. Your league's making 4 times. No, you know what sucks? It doesn't just stink is the NFLPA. They allow this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They allow all this trash to happen that when a baseball player or an NBA player signs a contract, he's going to see every single piece of that contract.
Like
Not us.
Like politicians are like, look at this deal we made. Look at all these really good points we got through. Don't read the rest of it. But look at these ones.
I mean, I love Jeff Saturday, but if I ever see him, it might be on the spot. He's worried about practicing in two-a-days because he was old and getting, long in the tooth in his career, and he didn't want to have true two-a-days. I'm like, look, give me a true two-a-day. Just give me some guaranteed money, and I'll guarantee you I'll be there for both practices during training camp.
How about a little health care?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Start there.
If you're vested, give me some health care. God, we fought for the entire CBA to not have two-a-days.
In 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah,
to not have two-a-days.
There wasn't even really, I mean, there was 2 days before that, but it wasn't like.
It wasn't like the Junction Boys out there. I mean, what are we doing?
Like, I get it.
It wasn't fun, but it's not like it got any better because we still went out there and we had a full padded practice in the morning and we had a walkthrough that we basically should have had shells on because everybody was going full speed because nobody wanted to get cut anyway.
And at that time, the mindset was already starting to change with coaches. Like, all right, maybe we shouldn't just crush these guys twice a day.
Yes.
The mindset was already starting to change a little bit. But like, even with the new CBA, if your coach wants to get it in, you're going to find a way to get it in.
Yes.
And who's going to be the whistleblower on the team? You're fired.
No. Because quarterbacks, like to your point earlier about y'all not having to do some of the things in training camp. Now, mentally, it was, I think, more difficult on y'all. But like the quarterback wasn't going to be like, we're practicing too much. Y'all all wanted to get out there and get y'all's work in. I know the ones I played with weren't.
Look, I don't know. When you're like the second, third, fourth guy on the team, and all you got to do, you got to just go to inside run the whole time. Like, I know I'm just handing the ball up. Inside runs suck for quarterbacks too. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not fun.
Your least favorite training camp drill?
Inside run.
Yeah, it's inside run.
Inside run for sure.
Yeah, I just talked about inside. I think you were coming up the stairs probably when I was talking about
Chris
it.
Long talked about it too.
I hated it.
Yeah. Hey, NBA players, let's come do inside run.
Come do inside run like one time. I don't care. Like, I don't care who you are.
Or half line run.
Yeah, either one.
Half line run when it's like, they're only running one direction. They're not running to the side. I mean, for those of you who don't know, half line run is center, left guard, left tackle, or center, right guard, right tackle. There's a fullback and there's a running back. There's a defensive tackle, defensive end. And do they put 2 linebackers down? Yeah. I can't remember. And it's like, you're only running to one side. So it's basically like old school, like blood alley.
It is live. Like any NBA player, like, I don't care. Like Rudy Gobert, Sam Adams, like, I don't care who it is. Let them line up in inside or half line like one time. We practiced against the Dallas Cowboys, and we were doing half line. So think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going half line. Everybody at the practice knows there's only one side that you can run to. Everybody knows it's going to be fullback versus linebacker, and there's going to be a collision. So the linebacker is going to be like, bat out of hell. I can't tackle the guy anyway, so I'm going to just try to demolish the fullback.
Yep.
We went against Sean Lee, who I'm not sure knew that you're supposed to take care of your body in some way. Like it's like your body, you only get one of them. I'm not sure that Sean understood that.
What a name drop, Sean Lee.
I mean,
yeah.
Matt, he every time was like kamikaze style. Like, I am going to come in with bad intentions and no care for myself or yours. I'm like, Sean, like, I've got to match your intensity because like I'm playing fullback here and I'm not getting released because I'm not going hard against the Cowboys in practice. But you're not even worried about finding the running back. You're only worried about putting the top of your head into my chest plate.
Inside run zone, bud. And for those of y'all listening out there, don't think like, oh, these washed up guys, they're complaining. They're whining, like grow up. No, we're not complaining at all because it's a point of pride for football players.
Yes,
like
we're just saying that it's not for everybody.
It's not for basketball players.
No.
Tell you that.
It is
It's not a complaint. I celebrate it.
I don't even know. And don't send me like high school clips. Don't send me high school clips of NBA players playing high school football, especially some of the ones that y'all sent me last night. The highest running forms that I've ever seen. So high that their back was arched and it felt like the back of their head was hitting their back.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine?
That would get you ended.
Can you imagine?
You imagine Brian Dawkins going over the middle with that. He would kill someone.
Second of all, where are they playing? 7-footers. Where are they playing?
Where
are you putting them?
Getting jammed.
Yeah.
We just we got to find the Draymond Green where he's out there receiver. And Draymond's, how tall is Draymond Green? I have no idea.
6'7".
Okay, he gets jammed by somebody that's 5'9".
Yeah.
This is making me angry now.
You
got people 13th on the bench making $6 million a year.
Get out of here. Let's get there. Who runs their Players Association? Get that guy.
Yeah. For our baseballs, our hockeys, hell, even the MLS. I'll take that guy.
Yeah.
Over who we have.
No doubt.
NFLPA.
Take Ronnie Rants. Where's he?
You know what?
Let's get that guy.
Ronnie would fight.
He'd fight for
something. He'd sell some tables. I'll tell you that. Ain't no doubt about it. Look at Draymond. Look at Draymond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, replay that real quick for our audience. That's Draymond Green in a spring football game.
Oh, yeah, but he's tough. He can punch another NBA guy in the face. Look how tough he is. Here. He can cheap shot his teammate at practice.
Jammed up. Number 5. Number 5's talking trash. Look at his stance. Look, outside foot back, Draymond.
Idiot.
What are you doing? Looks like a dork.
Like a moron.
God, it's bad.
I love basketball. Draymond's like the epitome of like fake tough. Fake tough. Look how mad he is. He's yelling at everybody. Wow.
All right.
What an enforcer.
All right. We'll step away from this. This was something that we had to talk about. It had to be discussed on today's show.
I think the moral of the story is NBA sucks.
You've been waiting for T-Bob to be out because T-Bob loves the NBA.
I kind of agree, though. Like, to me, the NBA, except for the Spurs, is pretty unwatchable because of how, like, annoying all the players are.
Spot on. Nailed it.
Inside the Bayou 4 chat, before we take a break, Samuel Ayers needs a San Diego anniversary dinner recommendation. You go to George's on the Cove in La Jolla, California. That is the place to go, and you will score big brownie points with the significant other. All right, now, when we come back, somebody went to the Kentucky Derby, and it was not me. It was not Alondra. It was not Taylor this past weekend, and we'll get a recap of that trip when we come back here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Was that you? That was you. Yeah, okay. Go to GoTommies.com. GoTommies.com. GEAUX Tommies. That's Tommies with a Y.com. And Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. And we always encourage you because we tell you about it. And T-Bob and I, like, we're not going to sit here and just lie about who we're doing advertising for. Like, we use these services in our own homes. Like, Tommy's come out to my house. He's come out to T-Bob's house because we believe in Tommy. But if you don't believe us for whatever reason, like Flynn doesn't believe me right now, you can go check out the testimonials on Tommy's website, GoTommies.com. It will show you past client results and what they've done for others in the community. Windows, doors, and siding. Also, the gallery of the windows, doors, and siding on their homepage. It's right there at the very top of the website. And just kind of get an idea. because you'll see the custom work that they can do for you as well. Not just your basic work. They can do that as well, but they do everything over at Tommy's. That's GoTommy's, GEAUX Tommy's.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept.
Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank at Nicholson. Scott Rabelais will be with us. Also, Wes Reynolds from VEASAN and professional sports handicapper Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and it's about time. Yo, let's rip this up.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, before we get to the Kentucky Derby recap, go to mix CD, playlist, song, whatever that you burned on LimeWire, ruined Ruth's computer, and passed out often at Tyler Lee.
Yeah,
there back in high school.
I'm obviously I always
Actually, what's the name of the school now? Liberty or no?
Legacy.
Tyler Legacy. Because y'all have to say the name of the city before the school.
Yeah,
Tyler Legacy.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I think I'm a year older. Well, I got seniority. You're. I mean,
how old are you?
Shreveport Evangel. I know y'all held back. Held everyone back 7 years.
Wait, how old are you?
38.
I'm 39.
You're old.
So who's got seniority?
Anyway, all right. Well,
thank you.
Pete, I had Napster. Did you have Napster?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah.
Where'd you go? So There was Napster, and then it went to LimeWire and Kazaa.
Oh yeah, because that was at the very end. Like
Kazaa was like basically the same platform as LimeWire, right?
Yeah, God, LimeWire ruined so many computers.
My number one song on Napster that was on all my burnt was Disarm.
I'm the only person that's going to know. But
anybody? Nothing?
I know that one.
Okay.
Yes.
By Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm talking like if you were like if you were trying to like get a date,
I was like scared I was going to say the wrong band name. I was like, in my head, I was saying Smashing Pumpkins. I was like, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I know.
Actually, Londra's got really good music taste, so she would know that.
I love the
Taylor's
Smashing
got horrible
Pumpkins.
music taste, so he probably know that one. So
They're going to be in Arlington September with Green Day.
Blake Shelton.
That would be awesome.
I thought it was Alan Jackson. That was going to be my guess.
Yeah, you were going to say Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
I mean, what are like if you were like trying to get a date? You know what I'm saying? Like you were trying to pass out like that kind of mixed CD. Or did you just like you were? I was worried about ball. I'm Jonathan Moxon. I'm worried about ball.
Trying to get into Brown.
Yeah, you get into Brown.
Well, that's the thing. Was
like me getting into Princeton.
Was the Mox actually worried about ball?
Yeah, you're right. It was
That's a
more
really
like
good
Lance
point.
Harbor.
Yeah,
Lance Harbor was worried about ball.
He was reading novels on the sideline.
That's true. That's true. Lance Harbor's more you. You're right.
Download a lot of Nelly.
Okay. Would not have pegged you
like
for
I
a
don't
Nelly
think
guy.
I really
You didn't,
downloaded a
yeah.
lot of like date songs.
It must have been a Shreveport Evangel thing.
Yeah, well, Pookie Shells. Pookie Shells, like
Pookie Shells,
y'all
frosted
left.
tips.
Yeah, y'all left the Buckle and went to Abercrombie, and then went back home and burned 98 degrees songs.
Stopped at Hollister.
Stopped at Hollister on the way up for a belt.
Hey, 90 degrees had some bangers.
The girls probably went to Claire's.
Oh yeah.
Limited 2 was like the thing
Yeah,
back
probably that
then.
too. Probably that as well. All right. If you want to be able to like go to the Kentucky Derby and do things you probably shouldn't do, and then find your way back to Baton Rouge as a businessman and a father, and still be able to do all of those things, and then show up to radio on Wednesday, you should probably go to RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com, your age-defying clinic, because well, if you hang out with them, you get that consultation set up, you can do things like Matthew Clayton Flynn was able to do over the last 5 to 6 days, and will now get that Kentucky Derby recap. And this is a trip that you make every single year.
Yeah.
Right? And it's pretty much the same group too. I mean, one or two guys here or there might change. I still don't know how Bakhtiari found his way onto this. I'm talking about the older Bakhtiari.
3 Bakhtiaris on the trip.
And one just got married. Eric just got married,
Eric
right?
Just got married, that's right.
So he probably
So we got a trip, we got a guys group, and sometimes a couple people change here or there, depending on who can go, who can't go, then gets replaced. But yeah. Aaron throws, brings everybody, brings buddies. He's got a crew that goes. Let's see. Had the Bakhtiari. So David Bakhtiari, who's NFL
he just
player.
retired, right? Is he
so.
retired?
I think he did. I didn't really
a soft retirement.
Talk about
Yeah,
it.
he's technically like a free agent, but he's had so many injuries. Like I think he's kind of done.
Quiet quit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because like you talk to offensive linemen that have played the game or are playing the game, and they say that David Bakhtiari is probably, if not one of the best pass blockers of all time.
Yeah, I've heard that from numerous amounts of people. I've heard that.
Yeah, and that's
way better than his
because
brother
I'm friends
Eric.
with him, but like of all time pass blocking, right? And then he just had the knee stuff derail him. His brother Eric and his brother Andrew.
Yeah. And so I played with Eric in San Diego, and Eric played at the University of San Diego for Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
And then he came to us as an undrafted free agent. He held on for a little bit. Then went to San Francisco, I think, for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And so very athletic family.
Oh yeah, very athletic family, very talkative family. A lot of energy.
Eric
They bring it.
Eric can talk his tongue dry.
They bring the heat. Some people just have that unique ability. They can walk up to any stranger, and just have a conversation and be locked in, and just get to like the deepest parts of their life.
Yep,
that's him. I don't get it. Like, how do you broach the subjects in the conversation to talk? Like, usually if you meet somebody, it's small talk. Hey, how you doing? Where you from? Blah blah blah. Nope. We're talking about childhood traumas and with that guy. Like just getting into it.
Yeah.
Let's just unpack this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. All right. So
I see like a trip like that, like you have dynamics like that, but I don't think Hawk's like that.
No.
Like he's not starting a conversation.
Oh no. Well, nobody is except for that guy. So AJ Hawk, let's see, Devontae Adams, Jimmy Graham.
Oh, nice.
Who spent, a couple years in Green Bay with Aaron.
Yeah.
Awesome dude. very accomplished pilot, by the way, and also going on.
Now he's into rowing?
Yes, charity row event next in 2 Julys from now, where he's rowing across the Arctic Ocean, because that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got into that a little bit. That's a wild ride, man. He showed us the boat it's on. Nope, can't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that.
So this is a Friday, Saturday, like quick
we
trip.
get there. So we get there Thursday.
Right?
We get there Thursday. Left early Sunday. So yeah, that's Sunday, or let's see, Friday. Spend all day at the Kentucky Oaks, and then we kind of go to parties and stuff on Friday night, and then Saturdays all day at the Derby. Man, so if you haven't been to the Derby, it's like I compare it to a Mardi Gras ball.
Yeah,
where people get really dressed up and fancy, act like they're classy,
right,
and then debauchery after that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it is.
Did we bet on any horses? Who'd you have in the actual Derby? Because I was telling our listeners, and I was telling Alondra and Taylor, the way that we did it, I allowed all of the boys to pick a horse, and I gave them the name, the number, and the odds. And you pick a horse, and Dad's going to put $5 on the horse, and if you win, you get to keep it all. And everybody picked one, and none of us won. Katie's got second, but none of us won. None of us had Dan. If I would have known that Dan was from the 318, did not know that, I would have bet on Dan. He was also 18-1. The signs were there, and I didn't allow the universe to tap me on the shoulder loud enough, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to let the names talk to you a little bit.
You need to open your third eye, Jason.
I know. It's fully closed right now. Look, I'm 39, okay?
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, let's see. There's so many races. So throughout 2 days, you're staying there. There's 13 races a day.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of races.
Oh, yeah.
So you get to the point where you're just betting like all these exotics, trying to get like trifectas and superfectas to hit.
Yeah, I mean, you're not just betting a horse.
You're not
unless maybe the Derby, the actual Derby race, you are the 12.
I would say like the Derby, more than anything that I've been to, like going there, there's no way to replicate like the sights, the sounds, the feel, like feeling the horses running down.
Yeah.
But more so than any sport, you can see it so much better on TV. Like, so you're sitting there watching, and like we're like right on the finish line, so we have a really awesome view.
Yeah.
And so you're holding your tickets, you're cheering.
Yeah.
And like all the horses are clumped up, so you can't even see what number is coming in first.
Yeah.
And so and then they have
because your level compared to TV's up high.
Well,
and
then you
right?
can zoom in. You got announcers talking about it. You can see replays, and so you're just like sitting there holding tickets, like for like 5 to 10 minutes. Like who won? Like who came in second? Who came in third? Who came in fourth? And like you're just watching the TV screen for them to like finally post it, and then like 10 minutes later you celebrate.
Yeah.
Or you throw them on the ground.
Or you say bad words. Yeah.
Or you say I don't.
So you didn't win. I mean, because you hadn't led with that. You hadn't talked about winning. Did anybody have Dan?
No, no one had Dan.
Ooh, the whole group.
No, there was some good hits along the way throughout the day. We had some good hits.
Because I think
me and AJ were always like we would kind of combine bets. It's like we went 50-50.
Yeah.
We'd get up there. We just we just feel it.
Because the Super it paid $300,000, I believe.
Did it?
I think.
That's
like on $2 bet.
That's a biggie.
Yeah. That dog a hunt.
Yeah, that dog a hunt. I want to keep that one. I can't imagine how much like a place like Churchill Down makes.
Yeah.
Just on people losing their tickets. Because you go place a bet.
That's true.
And it's just like this little skinny, thin piece of white paper.
See, that's why
you put it in your pocket. And you win, or you win a bunch. You go put it in the machine, and it gives you out another white paper. That's a voucher.
Oh, wow.
And so you got to hold on to your voucher.
Yeah.
That's as good as money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like I can't imagine.
Might hold on to that one.
I'd like to see that stat. Like how much does Churchill Downs profit, or any racetrack profit, on a day like that where there's over 100,000 people there,
right,
on lost tickets or vouchers or winning tickets, or ones that don't even get cashed?
Yeah. That's like ones that don't get cashed.
Because like a lot of people, they'll go up to when they get there, so they don't have to, every time they go to the machine, they don't have to put money into the machine. They'll go and they'll give all their cash to the register and say, give me a voucher for it. So then you just pop the voucher in throughout the day and you do your bets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was Bob Baffert somewhere in the audience?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I didn't see him. Isn't he suspended, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
He's got a few more years on that thing.
Before we take this break, who's the most famous person that you saw?
Ooh, good question. Hey, a couple years ago, we were at a party next to Jeff Bezos. No big deal.
Pretty big deal.
No big deal.
Lots of bees.
Tight, secure. They're staring
Lot of
us down. We were sitting at the Derby. We were sitting next to Kid Rock.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ball with the ball?
Yep. I don't want to brag or anything, but I got D's nuts by him.
No. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Take a break.
Should I lead with that?
We're going to get that story this hour brought to you by MyHigh, drinkmyhigh.com. We're going to come back and get the D's Nuts story from Kid Rock and Matt Flynn here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Can't wait. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org. And now we tell you all the time, emergency services 24/7, 365. That means exactly what that sounds like. Anytime, any day, doesn't matter. Holiday, game day, weekends, 3 a.m. on a Sunday, does not matter. They will come, and if you have an issue, they are going to come fix that issue. 225-925-8552 is that number. But as we often tell you, it's not only in emergencies. If you're looking to upgrade, if you're looking to upgrade at your home or business, they can come in, and on the homepage of the website, centralplumbing.org, you'll see like 12 vans stacked up. So it tells you that they are ready to go. It tells you that there's no job that's going to be too big. If you own a business, 40,000 square feet business, multiple restrooms, does not matter. They can come in and they can fix an issue, or they can get you that facelift that we talk about. Think about going tankless as well with the tankless water heater. Never run out of hot water again. All of that can be found at centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Join me for Wednesday's Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3. We're breaking down LSU's game with Northwestern State, talking college football transfer portal. And it's a What If Wednesday. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in, OTB. Sorry, I got lost in it for a moment.
You'd be hard-pressed to ever find an album better than the Boyz II Men 2 CD.
Come on, man.
Well,
I can see the cover right now.
What?
Yes. Roman numeral 2 right there, blue and black.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah, I thought we already were.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I got to hear. Do we have time for the D's Nuts? We got 2 minutes.
We got time.
Because you're staying in extra segment. You already said.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, do we have time right now?
I can just say, speaking of, you were asking me, Boyz II Men, see them every year at the Derby. No big deal.
No way.
Oh, yeah. It's not a big deal.
Oh,
That's
Jake
a huge
is,
deal.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
huge
deal.
It's a biggie.
Do they look like boys or men?
Probably men. Probably old.
Yep.
That was a very good one. You can hate if you want, Alondra. That was a good one.
Tomato.
That was a goodie.
See?
Yeah, I mean, we got what time? What time is this thing?
You got like a minute now.
55:50.
Yeah,
55.
43.
Oh, 43. When did that change?
43. Always.
Oh, yeah, we got time. We got time for this.
It's always been 43.
It's a pretty short joke.
Okay.
So we're sitting next to him at the Derby on Saturday. Everyone's kind of doing their thing. I'm drinking some beers, a couple cold pops, and we're standing there. And he looks at me and he's like, "Hey, did you see those people?" And I was like, "What people?" He's like, "Over there. They were staring at you. They were staring hard. It was uncomfortable." I was like, "Where are they?" And then he said, "These nuts." And I was like, "What?"
Wait a minute.
I was like, "Wait a minute."
I don't think Kid Rock understands these nuts.
He didn't
He wanted to get you so bad that he didn't.
I was kind of shocked. I was like,
such a reach.
There were so many emotions going through my head. I was like, people are still doing that?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, that makes sense. But I was like, yes, I got these nuts by Kid.
Yeah, it's cool that you did.
Yeah, it's great.
But like, if you saw these people, like these people were over there, and these people, like, you go, what these people?
I said, where are they? I said, or who are they?
Yeah.
These nuts.
Oh, man.
So yeah.
I'm glad that Kid tried it because I can appreciate a good D's Nuts joke.
I guarantee
I wish
you,
the landing was a little bit better.
I guarantee you I was not the only person that got D's Nuts that day.
Nope. Flynn's staying 15 more minutes because he was late.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to getgordon.com. Getgordon.com is the website where you can ask a question on the site and get it answered right there. You can get a consultation set up on the website. It says literally free consultation. Click on that. It's a red banner on getgordon.com. You can see maybe cases they can handle for you in the courtroom. You can also find past client results on the website. So go check that out, getgordon.com. And then on social media, if you want to see what they're doing in the community, Get Gordon is always going to be that handle. So different things they do throughout the year. They've always got something going on here in not only this Baton Rouge community, that's important to point out, but throughout the state of Louisiana. Gordon has offices throughout the state, and they help every part of the state. So getgordon.com is the website. Get Gordon is the handle on all major social media. And then if you want to give them a call anywhere in Louisiana, just put your area code before the 8s, 888-8888. That's getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Wednesday, May 8th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 93. In hour 3 of today's show, Matt Flynn hanging out for one more segment. Then Bobby Carpenter joins the show at 9:15, and we close it out like we do every day with some Ask the Bench. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 of OTB. We got Flynn for 15 more minutes because...
Hey, happy birthday, bud. I didn't even know.
Thank you.
You said that thing about your age earlier, and I didn't even put it together. That's on me.
Take a lap.
Take a lap.
Make it a long lap.
I didn't have it saved on my calendar. Bad friend.
My calendar.
My Google calendar.
Look, it's okay. In less than actually a little bit more than a month, you'll be 39.
That's right.
And
right
so you'll join me in the gross number.
Ugh.
We were talking during the break. Odd numbers. It's hard to have a good odd number.
Yeah, we were
11's pretty good. 13's only good because, well, I mean, I wore it in high school, but also Dan Marino.
Yeah. I think like pre-10, like all birthdays
You like 27?
I like 27.
My little brother wore 27. I don't know.
Why? What's up with 27?
I don't know. It doesn't look or seem
right?
ugly. Yeah, it feels right. My birthday's 2/7, so I guess that's why too.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel bad to me. 27's not terrible. 39
it's not the
is
worst.
ugly.
The absolute like 17's gross.
17
19 is disrespectful.
Yeah, agreed.
If you were 19, you weren't a dude when they handed you 19. You became a dude.
You don't like
you are a
17?
dude.
Your favorite quarterback wears 17.
No, I made fun of Philip all the time. I was like, 17.
I was talking about Josh Allen.
I
wore 17, so my father wore 17.
I've had some Josh Allen takes that look like they were more true than not true, but what?
But we're talking about birthday, like what your age is. We're not necessarily comparing them to jersey numbers.
But jersey numbers are kind of
like. I mean, you got the Jesus birthday, which is pretty cool.
33's
birthday.
Great.
33.
You got Michael Jordan birthday, which is alright.
Yeah.
But anything like pre-13 is awesome because it's just a birthday party.
Yeah.
You get to go to the skating rink or get a jump. We don't do skating rinks anymore, but
we did.
We did.
Yeah, Hot Wheels. Shout out.
Mazzio's Pizza.
Ooh, y'all had that too.
Arcades. Oh,
I guess we
come
had a lot of the same things because
East Texas.
being in Shreveport,
Yeah, you're East Texas for sure.
I'd much rather have East Texas than South Arkansas.
But the GOAT, odd number birthday, 21.
Yeah, I think so
for
too.
Multiple reasons.
21 for multiple reasons. 21 on a jersey.
Yeah.
On a jersey looks really good.
21 Savage.
21 Savage. That's another one.
Uh-huh.
Is 21 the best odd number?
No.
I really like 33.
That's
33 is a good number. It's a solid number.
Yeah.
I mean, one, of course.
Best odd number?
You got to be a dude to wear one. Not everybody can wear one.
One's the best odd number.
I mean, if you're like jersey
also the
number,
loneliest number.
but he's talking about numbers in general, in all walks of life. He's not just talking about jersey numbers.
Yeah.
I would say one. It's the most sang about number.
One
for sure.
I like 3 because you could do like 3 times 3 equals 9, and that just
You like a
makes
good
sense
square
to
root,
me.
huh?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
So I just crapped all over the NFLPA. I just got a tweet, NFLPA former players, happy birthday. I share a birthday with Ronnie Lott. That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
That's the only really name that
Yeah,
I
but
recognize
look,
on this
39
list.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's just nothing good about
not
39.
great. No, it's
I
not
mean, it's
good.
a year away from 40.
Yeah, which I would rather be 40.
Yeah, why not?
By the way, I told them I will not be here when I turn 40. Next year, I don't care where Bob thinks he's going in the world. I don't care if he's in Chicago. I don't care if he's in New York, L.A., Cabo. I'm not going to be here.
Right.
I am celebrating. Speaking of numbers, I was reminded of this. I was telling a draft story when I was in Detroit, and they were asking about my draft experience. So I was already hydrated when I got drafted because we got the draft party time wrong, and I got drafted before the party started. So we were at a bar. We started to drink, and if there's any day that you can get well hydrated and it's okay, it's when you get drafted.
Sure.
And I'd already talked to the Chargers on the phone, the coach's GM, whatever, and so I was done, right? Now, I did give a local radio TV interview that I've never seen before that could be hilarious because it was still daytime outside. When I went outside, it was straight up Varsity Blues. Like, we got a game today. Didn't know it was daytime, and again, hydrated.
Yep. But
I'll never forget Bob Wick, shout out Bob Wick, the equipment manager for the Chargers, called me and was asking me about jersey numbers. And again, like I'm not like blackout or anything, but I'm having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. And he's like, what number do you want? I was like, I want 20. Rocky Blyer, I want number 20. He's like, man, the first round pick just took number 20, Antoine Case. I'm like, okay, because you couldn't wear 18 at the time, you know. Now you could. And I was like, what do you have? He's like, 22, 33, and 44. And I just remember, hey, turn down the music. 22, 33, or 44. And I was like, 22. And then like people like, 33, 44. And so like I'm on the phone with him, and my older brother's like, hey, Michael Turner wore 33 last year. Like, you don't ever be compared to anybody. And like, but like I'm going around the room trying to get like, hey, give me some cheers, some booze. And I'm like, I've never thought about it until I talked about that story this year. This equipment manager's probably like, are we sure we want to draft this guy?
Yeah, probably.
Coach,
Had they already turned in the ticket at that
Oh,
point?
yeah, I was already drafted.
You were
was good.
1,000% on speakerphone as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, my gosh.
There's no doubt.
I know.
Hydrate. You were hydrated with My High.
Well, my high wasn't a thing, but if it was, I would have
Yeah.
been. DreamMyHigh.com.
Yep, drink it. Drink a lot of it. Got a new flavor dropping in probably a week or two.
What is it?
Coors Light flavor?
Island Ice.
Oh. Highland Ice?
Island.
So what's that gonna taste like?
Let's see. Have you ever had a ocean water slush from
Yeah.
Sonic?
Yeah.
That's
Tastes
hell yeah! I'm about to
like
go
that.
buy me some My High Island.
I'm telling you, there's
What is it?
no like electrolyte or sports drink with this flavor, and it's gonna blow your mind. You see that drop right there?
Well, I'm proud of you, but
Thank you.
if this doesn't taste exactly like that now, I'm coming after you.
It was gonna taste better.
Okay, well, I
You
just want
gotta
it to be
you gotta
adjacent.
go and get like get some crushed ice from Sonic, and then put the My High in the crushed ice.
Oh yeah, it's gonna blow your mind. Check it out. It'll be online.
When can we expect that?
Might not even drop it in the grocery stores or anything. Just might be online.
It's super exclusive.
So it's exclusive.
It's exclusive. That's right.
Okay. I mean, we're not talking like Pinky in
Hey,
there.
we also got
exclusive,
we also just launched our subscription service, so you can get online. You know, click it, forget it.
So if we
My
do,
shows up
okay,
every
so
month.
if we do that, so I'm a big fan of buying like in bulk. I do buy the boxes because for us, we use them for like baseball tournaments. And if you're going to be out there for 5-6 games, then you got to buy in bulk and you pass them out. So you can do that where it's reoccurring.
Yeah,
like that's kind of like the box is probably what we're talking about here, right?
Yeah, you get a little reoccurring, get a little discount on there.
I know you're a cheap ass. What's the discount?
0.75%. just kidding. I think it's I can't remember. It's 5 to 10. It's like 5 or 10% off.
Okay. So it's 5.
Can't remember when we landed.
It's like
I think there's
10% off.
I think there's a couple of different levels you can sign up on. No big deal. Just check it out. drinkmyhigh.com. Got the new flavor. Got the subscription.
How many teams are we up to? Because that's becoming a real issue.
Yeah, so
you're keeping people hydrated that are enemies.
I know, and they're playing against each other. Used to, we'd have some inside tips, but yeah. So we focused a lot on the college world this year. It's like actually the first year. It's all been kind of grassroots before then. We were probably up to 20-something colleges last year. This year we're probably going to be closer to 50.
50?
Uh-huh.
I don't like that.
I know.
Because used to we could bet on teams that used My High in games.
Yep.
Or I could. You couldn't. I could.
Yep.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get the team names.
I won't ever sell to Florida.
If you ever do, I'll punch you straight in the face.
Just kidding, Florida. I'll sell to you.
No, you won't.
Call me.
If you sell to Florida, those Gatorade loving, front running, jort wearing, son of a guns.
That's right.
We're done.
We're done.
Yeah, I mean, there's other schools. If you can sell to 50 schools, you don't have to add 51 for it to be Florida and make what you're trying to make.
The thing is, though, like you mentioned, like they're proud of like we invented Gatorade and all that. I think he's good there.
I don't know Gatorade.
No, I get it, but like that's like their thing.
Lemon lime Gatorade last night.
Nice.
Do you have lemon lime My High?
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for being a supporter. Yeah, it's our first flavor.
It is a first flavor.
God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
where'd you get this person?
Off the street.
Off the street.
I was like, please.
Do you even know what you're doing back there?
No, I don't.
This is forever ago.
I just push a button and hope for the best.
This is forever ago when like Austin Bain used to be with us. You remember that? God, I remember his live reads.
It was dry.
He was so nervous.
It wasn't as bad. I mean, mine were pretty bad too.
Oh, I mean, yours were awful, but his were terrible. Flynn had just gotten into the grocery store, and he's like, "Hey, like if y'all want to go check out and buy some My High, you can." And I was trying to be an ass, and I bought one, like a singular
like just one packet,
pack of My High, which I don't even.
You can't do it now.
I think I bought the box, but I just
at the time you could buy like individuals.
Okay, well I bought one, and I go and I'm filming it to send to him and Austin Bain because we talked about it in the group chat, and I throw it up on the belt or whatever, and the belt is going to go to the cashier or whatever, and I'm filming it like, hey, pretty much feeding your kids, making a joke or whatever, and as I send it, lemon lime Gatorade shows up in it because I'm buying that as well.
Exactly
I didn't even think about
so
it.
I just hit a sore spot.
And I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be so good." And Flynn like immediately calls me out.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So you buy the My High, like you're like, oh look, I'm supporting me. You're drinking the Gatorade.
Dude, the Gatorade. I didn't even think about it.
24 pack of Gatorade.
It's like a 12 flat.
I'm into these big freezies.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. This popsicle season, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, those are.
My High crucial. Zero. There's My High Zero.
Oh yeah.
Are you just finding My High?
Yeah,
Even though we've been drinkmyhigh.com?
I'm trying to help you out.
I've always hated the hot weather, but now I just like pray for just
because you want a big freezy
out there.
I have heard you describe the Baton Rouge weather probably better than anybody when you talked about being on the practice field that one time you saw Coach Saban. Can you tell that story real quick? Because that's what you pray for now.
That was that could have been your freshman.
That's my freshman year.
It was, remember like the stretch line, the stretch that he used to do was exhausting. Like running back and forth, like
53-yard gassers to start practice.
And so you're sitting there and you're tired. This is like week 2 of training camp, of like original hard training camp. Like before everything got softer. And so you're sitting there stretching, you're miserable with life. And I'm on the ground, like doing hamstring stretch or something. And the practice field out there, they have on the other side, I think it's past like the other like U-High, like the high school field over there. Yeah. They have like that oil derrick. Maybe I don't even know if that's the right term for it.
Yeah,
it's like the oil. It's like the natural gas.
Yeah,
thing. It's like I guess where they study or practice. And it had some like burn off at the time, so it was like blowing flames. We've all seen it. There's flames on top of that thing. I don't even know if it's still there. But I'm sitting there and early morning, everything's wet because of the hot dew, miserable, and like you get right by the field, right a couple feet above the field, you got the heat waves going. And you know what that looks like.
Yep.
You just look, and
you can see the heat.
It distorts the light in the sky or whatever. And so you got the waves, and I see Saban walking to me, like with the sun kind of at his back. Like I can't see his face. He's just like this dark shadow of an image, walking through these like heat waves, and then right above his head is flames. And I was like, God, it's the devil. Turns out I was right.
That's actually perfect.
Just kidding. Love you, Saban. Thank you for your opportunities.
Yeah, like he actually like.
I'll never forget that sight. And I'm sure like in my head now, it's like 10 times worse than it actually really was. But yeah.
But still, like you tell that story and I'm there. I see it.
Yeah, it snaps you right back.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And also, last thing, I know we got to go. We got to let Matt go. I used to swear to God that he had a button that he could make it rain for 20 minutes, turn the rain off, and have it be as humanly possible for practice. Mm-hmm. I believed he controlled the weather. Just like that button he had in his office to close the door, he had a rain one right next to it.
There's nothing you can do or say to prove that he couldn't control that weather. Because he could do it like that. And it was like always on the hardest days. It was like those goal line short yardage days or like cover zero install days or like bear install days, like the hardest days of training camp.
Bear defense, as Derek Dooley said, 1,000 pounds of ass between the guards.
Yeah. Hey, if you ever want to win a practice, just install bear for the first time, and the defense will win practice that day.
Yeah, that day they will until we adjust. Yep. And you can do it in the year of our Lord 2024, and it will still work.
I feel like the offensive coach is like, let's give our guys some adversity. Let's not even like put the bear adjustments in. Let's just let them throw it out.
Let's let them figure it out.
We want to give them some coaching tape after this practice.
Yeah, that was always a fun day. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah,
for hanging out for 15
I'm sorry
more minutes.
About being late. Namaste.
That's okay. Like if you're late, but you stay 15 more minutes, you were on time.
I think that works out. That checks out. Is that right?
Nope.
No.
I don't know.
It's called math. It works.
Yeah. I mean, you stayed an hour.
Ever heard of it? Hey, Wandra, drink my eye.
I will.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Look up what it is.
I did.
It's a drink. It's a beverage company.
I know. I looked it up. It's kind of like
he kind of wears it on his person at all times.
That's right.
All right, drinkmyhigh.com, drinkmyhigh.com. Flynn, thank you. When we come back, the General Bobby Carpenter joins us here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, Trash Rangers, LLC.com. Yesterday it was like 3,860 reviews, 3,905 reviews now on the website. More people are finding out about Trash Rangers and what they can do for you. Ascension, Livingston, we are talking to you, but also like that is the trash portion of it with the red cans, the weekly text reminders, the reliable service, no hidden fees, all of that, right? And we're talking to Ascension and Livingston surrounding parishes, but also like roll-off dumpsters. We're talking to everybody. Like we're talking to anybody that's listening right now. So if you've got a project, if you need a dumpster, if you're fortunate enough to be a business owner and you've got My High flying off the shelves and you're like, hey, I need a dumpster to be able to, throw all these different things away. Well, you can do that. So we're talking to everybody in that process. And again, trashrangersllc.com is that website. Sign up today. You can also call them at 225-401-0838.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. What should we expect year one from Taliesin Fuanga? Former Saint lineman John Stinchcomb joins us. We'll find out. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Say what? Here we go. Baby girl.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. And now we get the pleasure of being joined by the General, Big Ten Bob, my meathead brethren, Bobby Carpenter, who's already called me out for bad clock integrity. I'm only 6 minutes late. Bobby, you like to get ahead of the change yourself.
I do like to get ahead of the change, man. And I'm never off the bench because I'm always in the game.
I don't really understand the name of the show either because T-Bob and I both started most of our LSU career, but here we are. That's why I usually use OTB so I don't get it mixed up with off campus.
Absolutely. I just want to make sure my sound's good. I mean, Hester, I'm in the middle of a nice lift here at Philadelphia Marriott Hotel weight room. So there's some squeaky treadmills. There's some things in the background. I just want to make sure that we got good sound quality for you.
No, we're good. Why are you in Philly?
You've got a little leadership deal. I'm speaking here to a couple companies. So you know what? Trying to bridge business and athletics, talk about culture building, leadership, all the things, Hester, that you take for granted, T-Bob takes for granted, athletes take for granted. We're trying to integrate that into the business world.
And you'll crush that. You will do great. And I do apologize for being late, but we had Matt Flynn in studio with us, and he was telling us stories about the Kentucky Derby. Your guy, A.J. Hawk, was on the trip as well, and he had a story about Kid Rock trying to get him with a D's Nuts joke, and we couldn't, not get that full story.
Oh, of course. Listen, I got AJ coming on Friday on my show, so I'm excited to get those stories and tales because AJ said it always gets a little weird there at the Derby. A lot of strange things go on. You know, Flinner knows about Aaron and how things get kind of crazy. So I'm excited to hear those. I'm glad all the folks listening got to experience it as well.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're taking time from a workout as well. I know what that means to you. That's near and dear more than anything in life. A good workout is near and dear to Bobby Carpenter's heart. So I do appreciate it. But just we're going to have you on and, talk a little college football as we're done with spring football. This transfer portal window is wrapped up, and if you're not in it already, it's too late. We know that. It's closed up. But you and I talked about your Buckeyes on Monday, and it feels like right now it is like national championship or bust for the Buckeyes, which is just crazy expectations to put on any program. But what's the last, 10 years, right? It's a decade since the last championship, right?
Yeah, and the time goes fast. So obviously there's people that are excited. They want to try to go back, get there. They pushed a lot of chips in. That's where you get this. When you lose your rival 3 years in a row, when you haven't won a conference championship 3 years in a row, and you haven't won a national championship in 10 years, you have all of the makings, all of the trappings of the success that you would like to have. And so you've got to find a way now between today and August 1 to make sure you're getting as good as you can in the summer. And then come when you put the pads on, you start summer camp, you've got to be ready to go. Because this year in the 12-team playoff, I think it's easier to get in, and it'll be an easier path potentially to have, or I guess everybody will have a better path to have a chance to win it. I think once you get on that path, it'll be a little bit like the unexpected journey of the Hobbit. That thing's going to get a little weird. It's going to get tough. You're going to have more games down the stretch, which means more chances to lose. And you might be like Frodo trying to get that ring into Mordor and to make sure, you've got the eye of Sauron staring at you. Who is that? Is that the new 12 team hanging over you? Is that all the lawsuits happening? You're going to have to find a way to meander your way through there and be able to destroy Sauron.
Now, I can appreciate all of the Lord of the Rings talk. Now, Star Wars is a blind spot for me, but I can get behind the Lord of the Rings talk. And if you don't know, Bobby, like T-Bob, is a big nerd in a good way, in the best way possible. He knows all the things that T-Bob knows. Now, Bob is not here because he's hobnobbing it up in Chicago. He's actually doing work. It's funny. So you do a show with Joshua Perry. I do one with T-Bob. Well, this week, T-Bob and Joshua Perry are actually doing a show together for Stadium. He's up there all week long. He went to the Cubs game last night. He's doing the Barstool thing today. And so T-Bob is big-timing us, and he's not here today.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little switcheroo there, a little wife swapping. That's where you get the keys, you put them in the bowl, you mix it up. He's up there kind of hillbilly, big city hillbilly living, hanging out in Chicago with my guy Joshua Perry, trying to avoid, all the nonsense that goes on there. But thankfully you called me so I can hop in with you, man. I'm just excited to be on here talking a little college football. I mean, if I was T-Bob, I'd probably be driving around with my kids right now, taking them to a doctor's appointment. We're doing some crazy stuff, pickup, who knows, getting ready to shoot snaps with Aaron Murray. But, you've got my whole attention here outside of just being in the gym.
Okay, so our producer, Taylor, as well, is a massive Cowboys fan, and he just pulled up a picture of the Bobby Carpenter that I first met, the Bobby Carpenter that had hair that went all the way past his shoulder pads, and this person doesn't even look related to the Bobby Carpenter that I know now.
It's unfortunate. At some point you got to grow up. Peter Pan has to leave Neverland, and it stinks. So, I got done playing. My wife looked at me. She's like, "You really gonna keep the hair? Like, what are you gonna be like? For Kurt Cobain on Halloween? Like, why are you keeping this for all the costumes?" That's really all it's good for at that point. I'm not playing. I have to put in a ponytail, walk around in like a suit and tie. Yeah. It just looks ridiculous. So the day after, like the winter, I guess after I got done playing, decided I had to hack that thing off, and now I'm just like a corporate stiff, kind of like you.
Now you're the mayor of Columbus. I mean, look, we got this great picture. I mean, great jawline, great smile, hair. It's got a little bit of product in it, not too much, but just enough. I mean, complete transformation.
It is, man. It's kind of sad, but I try to do the best I can with it, man. I had to make my parents and mom, like, everybody hated the long hair. And to be honest with you, Hester, like, there's good and bad about it. Like, you never have to worry about having a bad hair day. I just pull it up in a ponytail. But when you get out of the shower, dude, I'm not going to blow dry it. So you have wet hair hanging on your shoulders, walking around with that. Like, if you ever have it down, it gets sweaty, it would stick to your neck. Like, I can relate to all the women in the South. You get all that heat and humidity and what that does. I went down to Dallas and said, "This is awful, man. It's like sticking to my neck and everything else." So I got to shower and wash it 4 times a day.
What I got to ask what Rob thought about it. I mean, Big Rob he's old school. Like, you and I talk about Rob Carpenter and Joey Hester being the same person. I don't know that he loved it.
You know what? He honestly didn't like the long hair as much, but there's a couple pictures. Taylor digs them up there. But I've got a mustache. He liked the mustache a lot better than the long hair. He did have a little bit of a shag, though, back in the day. You got to remember, he found your dad's age, and he wasn't in the military, so he was playing, and it wasn't, like, fully long, but it was that nice, like, 70s feathered kind of mullet looking a little bit, where it wasn't like a hard mullet, but it's kind of flowed back, kind of like Steve Perry and Journey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. You had me at Steve Perry, so I can get behind that. Catching up with our guy, Bobby Carpenter, my co-host with me a couple times a week over on Off Campus, Sirius XM Channel 84. He does 1,000 shows like I do. Morning show there in Columbus. Also does a YouTube show with Joshua Perry and Schlegs when he decides to show up, even though he's gotten busy over the recent weeks, because Schlegs is a meathead, and just like we are, and he can't help it. He's got to coach weightlifting at some way, somehow.
You know where he's at right now. They've got the CSCS or CSCCA, one of the strength coaching conventions down in Dallas, Texas. So he went down there. He was the Metroflex gym where, like, Ronnie Coleman, all his meathead buddies trained down there doing, like, 1,000 sets of squats. He's telling me about his workout. He's like, we warmed up with some leg extensions, did some drop sets. Then we did traditional squats. We did 12, lots of volume, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, and stacked it back to 10. Then we did hack squats. Then we did belt squats. Then we did front squats. I'm like, dude, what are we doing? He's like, man, my legs are cramping while I was going. And so we're talking to him in the morning post-lift.
Yeah.
And I go, dude, when you get out of bed, you might fall to the ground. Like, you don't even realize how sore you are yet because you haven't even worked against gravity. Your legs are probably in some sort of catabolic state right now, and they're just eating themselves because you did 1,000 squats yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So just to kind of, reiterate what Bobby's talking about there, Anthony Schlegel, NFL player, Ohio State player, and he might be the king of meatheads. But, Bobby, can you tell our listeners, because today's my 39th birthday. I'm not quite 40 yet. And on your 40th birthday, which happened not that long ago, can you tell our listeners what you did for your 40th birthday?
Yeah, for my Mike Gundy birthday, I always want to try. You always want to challenge yourself, Hester. I said you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. We were talking about that in the break. And so our conditioning test at Ohio State was 20 half gassers. And I think for the big speed guys, it was 17 seconds first 10, 18 seconds second 10, 30 seconds first 10, 45 second 10. And so I wanted to rerun that, but I wanted to do it. I would always go with the speed guys, and I'm a little bit lighter. So I wanted to make sure I did all 20 half gassers over and back across the field, 16 seconds for all of them, and then 30 seconds for all 20. And Hester, I nailed it. Was able to get that done. I might try it again this year. It might end up being the death of me, but you know what? You get busy living or get busy dying.
That's what they say. And, not many people, in fact, only one person I know in my life would run the conditioning test of their college football team for their 40th birthday, but that was Bobby Carpenter, and that's why he's got the ultimate grit. To try to make this any kind of a sports segment, because you and I tend to go off the rails and see a bunch of squirrels when we get together. Do the Buckeyes have the grit that Bobby Carpenter, Anthony Schlegel, A.J. Hawk had when they won a national championship? And do the Buckeyes have what it takes to win a natty?
I think they do. I think they have what it takes. The talent of the team. A lot of it's going to ride on who the quarterback is, and it's Will Howard, how he goes out and performs. And he won a Big 12 championship. So people forget, even the year that TCU had a couple years back, they beat them in the Big 12 championship. So he has that big game experience. The rest of the roster is really talented. Got to figure out a little bit of stuff on the right side of the offensive line. Hester, I don't know if anybody in college football today, if the grittiest player is anywhere close to the grittiest player of 20 years ago.
Right.
That's just kind of the evolution of the game. I mean, some of that grit, I think, has been lost. But I was talking with Lathan Ransom on my YouTube shows. They're starting free safety. And he goes, man, our goal is he said, we think we're going to be the best defense in the history of the school. And I'm like, he's like, no offense. I'm like, no offense. If you're not trying to do that, then that is offensive. Like, that is the standard, buddy. I want to be able to give you whatever crown that is and say, hey, you were the best, good. Now someone else will be better than you.
Yes.
And that's the grit. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I'd agree with you wholeheartedly there. I lied. That wasn't the last question. This is the last question. Could 30 NBA players play in the NFL? Because I thought our guy Chris Long laid it out perfectly. Training camp would ruin. Inside run drill has made a lot of basketball players out of former football players.
I'll tell you this. I got a chance to have during the Charles Barkley 5, 6, 7 years ago when the Final Four was in Houston. And Charles Barkley is a big dude. I think one of the tougher guys play in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he said, he goes, I tried football once. He goes, we had practice. I was in middle school. We broke it down after practice, had lunch. He's like, I'm feeling good, thinking everything's all right. The coach said, hey, we'll see you guys back here in 2 hours. And he said, I'll see you, Coach, never. And I walked on out of there. But second practice, he goes, I don't know what you guys are doing, but that ain't for me. So I don't think there were 30. You might be able to scrape up, Hester, maybe 8 to 10. But I don't think you're finding 30 news across the 400 or 350 in the NBA to be able to play professional football.
No. The mentality is just completely different. Athlete-wise, yes, probably could. Mentality-wise, not a chance. All right, I knew you'd have an answer for me. Great answer. Didn't even know I was getting a Charles Barkley story this morning. Thank you, because I know what your wait time means to you, Bobby C. So I appreciate you taking 15 minutes away from that wait time to join us. Enjoy the lift, and I'll catch up with you next week.
I'm about to go hit some pull-ups. That's because, remember, pull-ups are the squats of the upper body.
Thank you for that note. We appreciate that. I'm not about to hit pull-ups, but enjoy your set.
You too. Have a good one, guys.
Bobby means every part of that, too. Bob. So for his 40th birthday, he ran the conditioning test that Ohio State currently runs and crushed it.
I think we should do like an OTB. We should all run the conditioning test and see who does the best.
You know, T-Bob couldn't pass the conditioning test when he played for LSU, right?
Well, that's okay. That was going to be my choice to finish last.
Yeah. What would the so when it was 20, was it 24 or 26? I think it was 24, 110s, and you had to make them in time. I could do that right now. I would die, but I could do it. I think it's different though. Now I think it's I don't even know if they do it like that, because they got these GPSs, and it's like we're more worried about what that says than you're trying to drive you into the dirt. I'll text Jake and I'll see what they do over at LSU, and I'll tell you if I could even do that. And we'll do that, and maybe we'll get an answer before the end of the show. Let's take a break. More OTB on the other side here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuild.com is the website. Now, we've been telling you about what they can do for you if you're building a pool. And just check out the website, man. Check out their work. Anything that you want in this pool, like anything that you desire, they can do. I mean, they can do it as custom as you want this thing to be. They have spec pools as well. It's the place to go to without question. Check that out on PECbuild.com. But just don't forget about what they can do in your outdoor living space, outdoor kitchens. If you want to create, something in your backyard, like tag it along with a pool, it's great, but you don't have to have one, right? If you just want to have this incredible outdoor space where you sit down, you watch LSU games, you watch Saints games, Pelicans games, they can do that for you as well. They can build any fence that you might need, like anything, any kind of fence, they got you covered. Bulkheads as well. If you need a bulkhead because you've got the lake, the pond in your backyard, they can come in, they can do that, all done at PECbuilt.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or
Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Modesto, Burbank at Nicholson. Scott Rabelais will be with us. Also, Wes Reynolds from VEASAN and professional sports handicapper Randy McKay. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Wednesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, Alondra, keep playing this Leon Bridges as I fill up my coffee. You can just keep
got you.
Yeah, keep it going. This is going to turn into a radio station for about 15 seconds.
I like it though.
Oh, you were serious? You don't know who Leon Bridges is?
Yeah, I really didn't know him. Yeah. I wouldn't lie about that.
No, I thought. Okay.
No, I really don't know him, and I don't know the Luke Combs song that you were talking about either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a Leon Bridges song that they did, like, you know those what do they call those, like, mashups that CMT used to do?
Oh, like medleys?
The crossovers.
Crossover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little crossover.
Oh, okay.
And Luke Combs sang the song with him, and it's really good. I mean,
This song?
Beyond, right?
That's Beyond. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll play that maybe we'll play that one next.
Okay.
I knew Taylor would know who I was talking about if I threw Luke Combs out there.
Yeah.
So, hadn't heard from T-Bob this morning.
No.
I think he's going to be on Wake Up Mincy. Has anybody seen any clips from that?
So I haven't seen clips, but I saw a picture. It popped up on my Twitter. Mincy posted. He is still in the Chicago Cubs jersey this morning.
Oh, he
which
did.
Nobody's surprised by that.
Now
he slept in that.
I wonder if he can do like if I called him right now while we were on air, if he'd answer.
T-Bob wouldn't answer ever.
I kind of want to see.
So T-Bob is like, he's in the same jersey, but he's showered. Like, that's T-Bob is a shower before you get into bed, which everybody should be.
Yeah.
He's a shower before you get into bed, but he'll put on the same clothes that he had on.
Yeah.
Last night, T-Bob went to the Cubs game, and if you follow him on social media, he celebrated it like he was Henry Rowan Gardner.
Yeah.
Like the biggest Cubs fan that you've ever seen in your life. And for a week to 10 days when he gets back, if he ever gets back, we're going to have to hear about the Cubs.
Oh.
He's going to be all into it. Everything that he does, he's going to put his full force behind the Cubs, and then it's just going to, like every other thing, just...
So I'm looking on Wake Up Mincy, like the Twitter page.
Yeah.
He's over here saying that if it wasn't for T-Bob, he wouldn't be at Barstool. And that Dave has a special eye for talent.
If it wasn't for T-Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, look
at our guy up there sitting on that king's throne.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess I don't know the Mincy story, but I don't know how T-Bob made that happen.
I don't either.
And
I thought it was Playboy
what talent
Marty.
Yeah, because he was at the Ole Miss games. It was an Ole Miss football game,
They were
right?
watching it in
Yes.
Baton Rouge. Playboy Marty, shout out to Marty, who
He used to
be
work
my
here,
producer.
right? Yeah,
he was
okay.
one of, I don't remember when Playboy would have been producing Hang with Hester, but he did from Shreveport, 3-1 great. And Ole Miss beat Kentucky last second, and Playboy filmed Mince's reaction.
Yeah, because they were showing him on the screen, right?
Yeah, and Mincy didn't know, and they won, and he was doing typical Mince things and groaning and kind of like pulling his hair and like, you know, really wanting Ole Miss to win. And they did, and he went viral for his reaction, and I thought that's what got Dave's attention.
That's what I
literally
remember.
Don't even know this video that you're talking about.
So, man, our guy's sitting up there.
In his Cubs jersey.
In his Cubs jersey on a throne.
Look at this little king's throne behind him.
Yeah, I think he's just on a regular seat, and the throne is
I know,
behind
but
him.
it's
Yeah, but
funnier
like
if
it
we
looks
make
like
sound
it's
like he's on the throne.
behind him.
We're taking betting odds. The number set at the beginning of the week was 2.5. 2.5 shows that T-Bob Hebert would be a part. He's made 2 already.
Yeah.
So he missed today. Tomorrow's the one.
I think
Because
he's for
not
sure
gonna be
in.
here
I think he's
Friday.
for sure in tomorrow.
Friday's going to be, hey, travel issues. I got to get back home. Caitlin's got the kids. And shout out to Caitlin, by the way, for having the kids all week.
Yeah.
But it's going to be something on Friday. So tomorrow's the day. So wherever you put your money on in the chat, tomorrow, if he's here, you won. If he's not, I don't think you got a chance, even though Friday's still available.
He ain't coming in on Friday. He's not doing it.
I think he's in tomorrow. No, we're not going to hear from him till 5:30, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. But I do think he's in.
Yeah, that's true. We will hear. He did write me happy birthday, though. I think because somebody tagged somebody tagged us in the thing together, and so he did remember that. So
He
shout
didn't
out to
remember.
Bob. He was reminded.
He was reminded.
He was reminded. So, all right. So we have a T-Bob sighting. He is there for Wake Up Mincy. So again, if you want to check out T-Bob, I think he's doing like the car wash, like where he hits a couple of different Barstool shows today, and so T-Bob will get that opportunity. I guess he's not doing work for Stadium today.
I don't know.
Because I think it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday that he was doing work for Stadium. Tuesday, Thursday off. So if you want to catch T-Bob, he'll be on, I don't know what other show, but he'll be on some Barstool show.
So like car wash, like do they go through a car wash and do the interview in the car wash, or what does that mean? Because I know there are things that do that.
When you call it a car wash, it would be like when somebody comes up here to guarantee, and if they basically went from, they did OTB, and then they went and did Brian's show, then they went and talked to Brittany, and then they did Hunt show.
Yeah.
Like that is what you call a car
Makes
wash.
sense.
You just go through. So like he would go to multiple shows on Barstool.
Because there
media days, we call it car wash.
There are like car wash things, like where you sit in a car wash and you do an interview.
There's a YouTube channel where it's like the interview lasts throughout 45 seconds of a car wash.
Yeah.
So like carpool karaoke, there's plenty of examples like that. So I don't know what he's going to be on, but check T-Bob out on Barstool. Check him out on Stadium as well the rest of the week. Certainly he'll have more shows coming up. I thought he was working Stadium today. I guess that would be tomorrow and Friday. We're going to take a break here, have an actual extended Ask the Bench to wrap up today's show. So in the Bayou Ford chat, as I see Austin Bain is hearing what we said about about his live reads a little bit earlier on Twitter. Any question that you might have under the sun, we'll get it answered here to finish up today's OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Oh, sorry, Bain. Bain, I love you. You're like basically my cousin. Like we're related through marriage. And so I love you. It's all out of love. Also, a lot of love is All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. We told you about the rentals. Let's see, when do we do that? First hour of the show. We told you about the rental department. We told you about if you've got a vacation coming up and you want to rent that vehicle for that vacation, they are the place to go to. But also if you're buying new, they've got so many different options for you. It's not just one size mid-size SUV. It's not just, one full-size option. It's just not one truck. Like multiple size, multiple options. Tundra, Tacoma. No matter what you're looking at, you got multiple options. Sedans, hybrids. Like we can't stress that enough. Like if you need a bigger vehicle, they've got the Sequoia. They've got the Sienna, right? And so go check out the new vehicles over at All-Star. Go check out the lot. Find something that's going to meet your needs, your family's needs. They have those needs met over at All-Star, allstartoyotabanrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Oshner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Oshner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
It's on. Join me for Wednesday's Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3. We're breaking down LSU's game with Northwestern State, talking college football transfer portal, and it's a What If Wednesday. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in, OTB, and I have a special guest here in studio with me. It is my daughter, Harlow, who surprised me. Katie and Harlow just brought some pedophores for the studio, so Harlow making her OTB debut. Jackson, my oldest, Memphis, my youngest son, have made it. Now Harlow, who's trying to grab the microphone, has now made the airwaves.
She has important things to say.
Oh, she's going to talk a lot. If I put you on the spot, can you say dada? You say it all the time. Can you say dada? Nothing.
No.
Looking for mom.
She got nervous.
It's fine. It's fine, Harlow. We'll remember this. I'll remember this. Ask the bench. Odds that T-Bob got room service last night and will get it again tonight.
I think T-Bob went bougie on this trip. I think he went out and ate somewhere.
There's no doubt. Steakhouses, Cubs games, room service, everything.
It's like, since Terrio gave him that suggestion of that steakhouse, like, notice they've been talking back and forth a little bit more. T-Bob is going to Gibson's Steakhouse. Like, that's happening.
Yep.
He even said, well, I brought my suit, so I got to go somewhere out nice.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he brought a suit. You're right, because he's not wearing the suit on stadium. So, let's see. Ask the bench, favorite birthday gift you've ever received? I don't know. My wife's in studio with us. What's the best birthday gift that I've received? I had a huge surprise party in Poway, and Katie had a sushi chef, right? Yeah, that had like all my teammates there. Our church was there. Family was there. So that one was probably the best gift. Harlow, I know. Let's see. Ask the bench, favorite hanging with Hester guest. I don't know. Chipper Jones, probably. We used to have him a ton whenever we had hanging with Hester. So I'd probably take Chipper, Larry, Wayne Jones Jr. Ask the bench, can Jake name all the hanging with Hester co-hosts off the top of his head, or is the advanced age memory loss setting in? It was Gordy on Mondays. It was Ronnie Rants. It was Flynn. Dick Dixon was in there somewhere. I think he was on Fridays. Hunt Palmer was also there. Yep, Hunt Palmer. Yep, 3-1 grade. I agree. Dan Canaveri was in there every now and again. Peter Burns actually co-hosted with me for like 3 weeks. He was like my co-host, and he's like, I'll do this all the time. Peter showed up 3 weeks, and that was done. I think is that everybody? What do you think? You got stage fright? Nothing? All right, let's see. Ask the bench, get her a mic. She's just going to take mine anyways. Ask the bench, favorite Hester LSU moment.
I mean, this one's easier for me than you, but
go ahead.
As you were playing, it's got to be Florida, Jake. I mean, it's got to be the fourth downs against Florida. I mean, that is my favorite game I've ever seen in person in Tiger Stadium.
Like, I'm a certified Gator hater, so that one certainly lives near and dear for me. If I'm going away from that one, I would say getting a long touchdown run against Louisiana Tech. We had, family on the team. My best friend of all time was playing for Louisiana Tech. Katie's dad played for Louisiana Tech. Katie's mom was a cheerleader for Tech. My mom went to Tech, and so a lot of history with Louisiana Tech. And so, not like a hate thing, but like glad I could go have that moment against Louisiana Tech. It was kind of cool, and I grew up rooting for Tech. And Tim Rat-a-tat-tay. Let's see. Alondra's probably too young to remember any of those moments.
I don't know. I'm spaced out at this point.
Let's see.
I remember the Florida game that
that's fair.
Taylor's talking about.
Ask the bench, is T-Bob ever coming back? I think he'll come back. He's got to get his wife and kids.
Yeah.
So he's got to come back eventually.
Is he gonna stay when he comes back? That's a different.
Yeah, that's we'll see. Ask the bench, bigger hands, T-Bob or Harlow? Harlow. Look at these things.
Harlow for sure. Only because T-Bob has tiny hands.
Let's see. Nope, 2 seconds.
Happy birthday,
Say
Jake.
bye. Say bye.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, mmrgrp.com. mmrgrp.com is the website. That is the place to go to if you're looking for that new career. We've been telling you about this over the last couple of weeks and last couple of months. It is really set up for your success. Drove by the campus multiple times over the last couple of days going to a baseball tournament in Prairieville. Notice the MMR location, that campus. It is ready to go, man. They take care of their employees. Their employees mean something to them. That's how you can grow to be as big as MMR is. So mmrgrp.com is the website, or you can go to any search engine, Harlow, and you can type in MMR Baton Rouge, and it's going to pull up what they have available as well. It's going to pull up locations where they have availabilities. It's going to pull up all of that information for you. You can always pick up the phone, give them a call at 225-756-5090, mmrgrp.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals.